You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
I have sickle cell. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime. I'm most grateful that people are willing to go out there and take their time, their blood, and give me new life.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Well, tune in to Bart and Hahn Tuesdays at 2 p.m. for the Garrett Wilson Report. Garrett joins the guys each week to talk everything gangrene. Submit your question for Garrett on the ESPN New York app for a chance to win an autographed football. Find the Ask Garrett page in the contest tile.
What was that noise?
Yeah, what was that strange noise?
I don't know.
It had to be something from Peter.
You made it.
It was a straw. It was a straw.
Let's go to, you know what? I don't even care. Let's go to Corinne in Manasquan.
Hey, Corinne.
Look, well, again, I'd like to defend Peter. I heard nothing over air. Michael, you're overreacting.
No, it was Don who brought it up first, and I heard it.
I thought it was funny. Somebody was trying to wedge something.
All right, you're right. My bad. So my call, first of all, I was on Michael's side originally, and now I'm on Don's side because I'm thinking about listening to 3 hours of Yankee curmudgeon calls after a clincher, and I just can't do it. I wanted to talk about this thing with the Yankee fans, you know, liking what the Mets are doing and kind of rooting for the Mets. I mean, are these Yankee fans so crazy that 27 rings and all of those banners aren't enough for them? And, like, now they need the Mets to make them feel happy? I'm just sick of it as a Mets fan because you have all these rings and yet you still need more. And now you're looking at my team and rooting for them? I don't want any of it. I'm a young Mets fan. I despise the Yankees. I hope they get knocked out of the ALCS. And I just can't fathom why Yankee fans would want to root for the Mets.
You know why? You know why you feel that way, Corinne? Because you're normal.
Why?
You're normal. You have a team, you root for it, and the other team in town you shouldn't be rooting for. Period. And that's end of conversation. And we have this conversation every day. And what I thought about yesterday, I wonder if Don and Peter agree. The people that call in and go, "I'm a Yankee fan," but you're not really a fan. You're kind of a casual fan. You're kind of that meandering right in the middle. Hey, Yankees are doing well. They're the cool team to root for. I'll root for them. If you really love the Yankees or you really love the Mets, I mean really love them, you know what? You're going to root for them and root against the other team. That's just the way it is. If you're not, you're You're casual. That's all you are.
Yeah. I mean, you think you're passionate, but you're not, and that's fine. I think don't misunderstand. If that's the way you want to root, fine. But but you can't say I'm a diehard fan, live and die with the Yankees or live and die with the Mets. But and the good for the city stuff, Michael, is just such folly. It's just so stupid. You know, I don't get that.
Right. Absolutely. Because if you casually enjoy baseball, then it makes sense. Like, oh yeah, whatever New York team, I'm rooting for them. That makes sense.
You know what I think of, and I think I got her name correct. Was it Susie Crone? Was on
Penny
Fox.
Crone.
Penny Crone, right?
Come on.
Well, come on. Michael, was 25 years ago to the day, all right? I'm
sorry. If it was a day.
And she was, what was she like? Was she the entertainment reporter? Like, she was something on Fox.
She did everything.
And so she'd always wear the hat of whatever team was good. Or I'd remember, like, Ed Koch back in the day. Oh, the Mets are good. I put a Met cap on. Yankees. And it just comes across as just fraudulent. Say what you want about Rudy Giuliani. I'm not going to get into the whole, politics and all that. At least he was a Yankee fan, all right? And he didn't all of a sudden play the Met card because the Mets were good. He was a Yankee fan. I just think that's the way it's supposed to be. And to just split hairs tells me that you're just playing it safe and that you're going to be happy for the other team. You should be miserable like everybody else when your team loses. That's the way it works.
Walnuts on Twitter.
Yeah.
Sorry. His name is Paul Santoro 20. This is what you're up against, okay? The disrespect to callers is unreal. I don't know why people call the show anyway. They're never right no matter what they say. No, now, Paul, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
No, that doesn't play well.
When they're right, they're right. So if you invite somebody into your house, and they're a guest of yours, and for some strange reason, they pull down their pants and defecate on the wood floor. Are you supposed to say, no big deal, you're right? No, when somebody's wrong, you tell them they're wrong. So a lot of people are calling are wrong.
No, listen, I got back to him. I was like, I'm sorry, you can't defend those last two calls. You can't do it. I just think that you take them as they come, all right? You're not a guest in the house, all right? You're on the show, and let's have at it. You want to criticize me, criticize the team, whatever. But there's going to be a back and forth. But when you're just completely moronic with your point, we're just supposed to let it go? No, that's not how it works. So I'm assuming now Walnut's one of the wacky ones.
Oh,
because
wow.
why is he defending him?
Why would so someone calls up and says they should move Aaron Judge? What do you swap Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton? We're supposed to go, you know what? That's a good thought. Thanks for the call.
But this is the thing, like, Angelo. The fact that the Yankees advanced yesterday and people want to call and say Boone needs to be fired is absolute lunacy. Why can't we enjoy the good things? Thank you, Angelo. And I refuse to believe that this is the majority of the fans. But, Peter, it's all we get. Now, I'm not saying that it was overly impressive that they beat Kansas City. You've got bigger fish to fry if you're the Yankees. But can't you the next day at least relish in a victory, be happy that you moved on? But it's, is Boone going to get fired? Let's juggle the lineup. What are we doing, man?
So we also agree with the guy who said, there's clearly animosity on it. Well, show me where. Oh, between Boone and Glaber. That's animosity. A manager actually holding his player accountable because he didn't run, because he hit a double and turned it into a single and then got thrown out at home plate. That's animosity, or is that actually managing?
I'm telling you, that caller is a guy. He would never admit it, and he might even pass a lie detector test. He will be happy if the Yankees lose because he wants to be miserable and he wants everybody fired. And I think that's what they're hoping for. They don't like Boone. They want him fired. And some of them, as moronic as it sounds, and I'm sure it's a very finite amount of people that are actually rooting for the Yankees to lose so Boone gets fired. I don't get it. I mean, he seems like a really nice guy. I mean, maybe you don't like him as a manager for whatever reason, but are you going to sit there and root for the Yankees to fail so they fire him? It makes no sense. Why? What makes Aaron Boone so bad, Michael? What makes him so bad? No manager's perfect.
Well, everybody has this lust now for Joe Girardi. Well, we have receipts here because we were doing a show when Joe Girardi was a manager, and most people I called in hated his guts and wanted him fired. So I'm sorry, I can't accept what you all are saying, because if Boone won the World Series or got fired tomorrow, then they brought in somebody else, and that somebody else didn't go to the postseason every single year, then you'd be pining for Boone. You just don't know what you want. You know what you want? You want a combination of Casey Stengel, Joe McCarthy, and Joe Torre, and you want to win a World Series every single year. Sorry, but here's an alert. That doesn't happen.
But do you know, I've said this before, do you know how it looks, or even how it makes me feel to say, when I do a hit in Toronto, sometimes they'll call up to talk hockey, but they want to talk Yankees.
They're incessant in Toronto, or they want you on the air every minute.
So the Yankee fans must be thrilled with it. No. That's my answer, is no. The people that call the show are not thrilled with their team. They're not happy with and their minds, their brains explode on the air. Like, what do you like? It'll be in the middle of the year. Like, oh, the Yankees fans must be nuts about this Aaron Judge seat. No, they're not. They want Boone fired. They're disgusted with ownership. They think Brian Cashman's a clown. And they're slack-jawed. They can't believe there could be a team this good, and that our callers don't appreciate them. I won't say the fans, because I think the fans do, Michael. But they cannot understand for the life of them that we get negative calls on the Yankees. Can't believe it.
Well, and because of that, all three of us need better help, Peter.
Wow. That was interesting, Michael. And this message is brought to you by...
The New York Yankees postseason 50-50 raffle is open. The Yankees have guaranteed a minimum starting jackpot of $50,000 at this year's American League Championship Series opener on Monday, October 14th. One lucky fan will take home half the pot, and the other half will be donated to the New York Yankees Foundation. You can enter to win from home in New York ahead of Monday's game by visiting Yankees.com/5050 or by scanning the QR code on the screen. The Michael Kay Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem? Like a lot of other men, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good untucked. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between length and fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
My name is Karan, and I'm from Brooklyn. I work for the city of New York as a police administrator. I oversee approximately 20 people, and my memory just has to be sharp. And I realized my memory was just changing. I did my own research, and I decided to give Prevagen a try. My memory became much sharper. I remembered more. I've been taking Prevagen for 4 years now. It's a life changer.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Class-leading safety features at every turn. The Hyundai Tucson.
Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $229 a month, or get 1.99% APR, or up to $1,250 bonus cash. Hurry in.
You know, when I take the bike out like this, all my stresses just melt away.
I hear that. This bad boy can fix anything.
Yep, tough day at work. Nice cruiser sorts you right out.
When I'm riding, I'm not even thinking about my painful cavity.
Oh, you shouldn't ignore that.
And every time I get stressed about having to pay my bills, I just hop on the bike, man.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta pay your bills.
You don't have to worry about anything when you're protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
Well, you definitely do. Those things aren't related, so...
Oh, that is a vibrating pain.
Here we go, let's go, yeah. The Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
Visit linkedbylovetv.org to learn more about kidney disease, transplantation, and prevention. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
So there's a follow on X called @Cookout Sessions. So it's got a GIF of no, it's GIF. Thank you, but thank you so much. The guy who invented it calls it GIF.
He's wrong.
He's wrong. The guy who invented it is wrong.
That's right.
As a GIF of John Travolta from Pulp Fiction, like looking around, waiting for somebody to talk to him. And this guy, Moses is his name, writes, Yankees Twitter looking for Mets Twitter to congratulate us like we did them. He's so right. The Yankee fans that were going gaga because the Mets clinched the spot in the NLCS and congratulating them. I'm happy for them. You hearing that from the Met fans? Any of you? Did you just hear from Corinne and Manasquan? Did she congratulate the Yankees? No, because Met fans in good standing, they don't want the Yankees to advance. But Yankee fans, all of a sudden, they want to be Gandhi. They want to be Gandhi. And, oh, I'm so happy for the Met fans to enjoy this. They're not happy for you. Do you feel like a stooge now? They're not happy for you. But the last thing the Met fans want, is to see the Yankees waiting for them in the World Series. That's the last thing. The Yankee fans seem to think, well, it'd be good for the city. Yeah, until they beat you. Then how good is it going to be?
Then those people will be buying Met hats and partying with their Met fans, pretending to be Met fans.
Stooges. More than 3.
But it does make sense that the congrats would go one way and not the other.
Why?
Because the Yankees are the much better organization historically.
But
that's what bigger brother does to little brother. Hey, nice job, little brother.
That's why I think it's condescending.
Don, you have the right to think it's condescending. I'm not telling you to like it. I'm explaining why it's not as weird that it goes one way as Michael makes it sound. Of course it goes one way. They have 27 championships. So, oh, that's cute. You made the NLCS. Yay. You're not going to go the other direction.
But how's it going to feel for Big Brother, right? When Little Brother gets big enough to kick your backside. How's it going to feel then?
Not great. It means next time you probably would be less likely to say congrats.
But let me ask you this, all right? It would be, I know it's Big Brother, Little Brother as far as the fan base and the history and all that. But if they were to meet in the World Series, would it be that big of a mismatch? Would it be Big Brother versus Little Brother?
No.
Honestly, it wouldn't be. Now, you can't forget about the history and all that, but those 27 championships will not help the Yankees win the World Series this year. You know, and the fact that the Mets have not won in a long time shouldn't distract them from being the team they are. It'll be a 94-win team versus an 89-win team. All right, the Yankees will probably be a favorite, but it won't be like it was in 2000 where the Yankees were looking for their third straight championship and the Mets were looking for their first since '86. It's a different. So I don't know why when they're looking at the now, they look at the Mets as Big Brother, Little Brother. That might be in a historical conversation. But, Peter, would that be the conversation if they met in the World Series?
And also, Big Brother, Little Brother. You know what the Mets' payroll is this year? $305 million. Yankees is $303. So
Right.
Little Brother has more money than Big Brother.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that too.
All right, so I hate to do it, but I have to.
Okay.
I should listen to Don all the time.
What do you mean?
I'm going to tell you why. I've been red hot for Thursday Night Football, but I don't have the onions to make it a three-point pick. Can you imagine how I'd be sitting pretty right now after taking the 49ers yesterday and they ended up winning by 11? And I'd have a three-point pick because here's what I didn't do. First of all, I didn't listen to Don, dumb. Second of all, you know what else I didn't do? I didn't look at the card until last night when I got home.
It's awful.
It's awful. There's not a three-point pick there. I had it last night. I liked that game. I should have talked. I should have listened to Don. He told me, be a man, have some onions, and grab the three-pointer, and I didn't listen.
You act like Don randomly said this yesterday.
No,
Don,
this
is what we always say about Thursday.
I have continually not listened to him, and I should. Shame on me.
I'm sorry. To me, I don't know how you feel, Don. This is the worst week by far to me. This is awful.
Do you know that really I think there's 9 home underdogs on the card? 9.
It's ugly in there.
The games I'm thinking of, one shouldn't be attached to the other, but I let my mind go there. Right now, the games I'm thinking about picking, I am taking the 3 road teams. But like you said, Michael, that those are all the favorites. It's a weird week. It's a strange one. So, yeah, you felt good about it. Just go for the 3. It was dicey for a moment, but not really. They got out to the big lead. Seattle made it interesting, and then they ended up covering easily. What was it, 3.5?
It was 3.5.
They won by 12?
Yeah.
Well, it makes less heavy lifting for today, right?
No, but it would have been no lifting if I'd listened to the greatness of you.
Well, less lifting.
No, it would have been no lift. Once you have the 3, everything else is gravy.
You feel pretty good.
It's house money. It does feel like
because last week I got the Thursday and then I got the 2, but I didn't get the 3, so I felt like it was a lost week.
And this week you're just throwing things at the wall.
I'm not happy. I'm really not. I'm not a happy person. But this I'm happy about. MSG Networks will telecast a Rangers home opener against the Utah Hockey Club tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Now, you can also listen to the game on 880 with Don LaGreca on pregame at 6:30. Now, in addition to watching the game on MSG Network, fans can now watch the game on the just-launched Gotham Sports app, where they can buy single-game, monthly, or annual subscriptions. The Gotham Sports app is a collaboration between MSG Networks and the Yes Network to deliver fans all over all their favorite teams all under one roof. So go to gothamsports.tv for more information. How about that? How about that?
It is strange, like the apps make for strange bedfellows. I mean, MSG and Yes living together, that's pretty good, right?
Living together in harmony.
Dogs. Well, I don't think there's hatred like cats and dogs, but they are rivals. But we come together.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
A lot of things being said right now.
A lot of cliches getting thrown around.
Now, Peter, you were witness to one of the great WNBA championship collapses yesterday.
Yeah, really. It must have been something to be in that building for that.
It's how do I say this? It's not what you want.
I heard you had pretty good tickets because I've got spies there at the Barclays, and they said that you were pretty much, your feet were almost on the floor.
Almost on the floor, Michael. But tremendous. No, they were great seats. We were basically in the Liberty timeouts. It was pretty cool.
Well, what happened in the timeout where they blew it?
Well, that's a few timeouts actually where they blew it. They were up 15 with 6 minutes left. It's real. I mean, that's a tough one to get back up from, guys. I'm not saying they can't do it. This is the second time I've seen them lose to the Lynx this season. Lynx do well against the Liberty, but yeah, it was really, really tough. Wonderful call by Ryan Ruocco, though. I went back. I was watching the highlights today. The breakdown on YouTube.
Oh, you're really all in. You're watching highlights.
Well, I wanted to hear my guy.
All right.
This is a big moment. You know, at the time at which the WNBA is hitting its pinnacle, the voice of the league is our very own Ryan Ruocco.
How did it sound? So you went back and listened?
No, he did great. He did great. So, especially because at the end of the game, there was a bunch of controversy, stop and start, foul, not a foul, review. There was a lot happening there at the end. He did a great job.
Now, who were some of the people that did have foot to floor?
You know what, Don? It's one of the best questions you've ever asked in the history of the show. Well, the practical, this guy's as much of a mascot for the team as Ellie the Elephant, Jason Sudeikis.
Okay.
Sweeney Murdy was there?
That's right. Sudeikis was on the floor. Spike Lee was on the floor.
Ambassador Johnson?
No, no Ambassador Johnson. Meek Mill was on the floor.
Meek Mill. Interesting.
The Millster, as I believe you once said. Gail King was on the floor.
Gail King of CBS fame.
Mark Vientos was on the floor.
Mark Vientos got a big ovation.
Oh, we love Vientos. Vicious Vientos. That's what we say. Money Mark. And that's all I recall.
So I don't think you have a kick coming. Those are pretty big names.
No, well, I'll tell you what, Don. Here's how I definitely don't have a kick coming. I've literally sat in the Vientos seat before. So if I've sat in that seat and Vientos is available, you got to go Vientos. I stand down to a critical member of a team that is now in the NLCS.
I'm glad that you had a good time. Now the big question, support dog with you?
Of course.
Don't you?
Well, we need to be.
Don't you?
We need to be support. Who?
You.
Why?
Like when you go in there, don't you feel weird?
Like ooh, what a doofus I am.
Well, what are we doing?
I feel that sometimes life is what life is, and you do the best you can.
So the support dog is not for you; it's for Nat, right?
That's right.
So once you got married, shouldn't you essentially become Natalie's support dog?
That's not how support dogs work, Mike.
No, and I'm not mocking the support dogs because I get it, but she hangs out of helicopters.
Well,
does she have the dog then?
She doesn't need it for the helicopter.
Interesting.
But she needs it for Barkley.
Very interesting. A lot of curious things going on here. It might be another time for a better help call.
Because I think the true answer is that Natalie is supporting Rocky.
You believe that Natalie is
Rocky's I think it's the other way around. Yeah, sure. I believe Don again.
It's a...
I'm 2 for 3 on Don today. I don't like his take on calls. 3-point take, excellent. That one even better.
But even his call take aged incredibly well.
No, it didn't, because I think the stupidity, it makes for entertainment.
I know, but then we had follow-up yo-yo calls one after another, so...
Does Rocky enjoy the WNBA?
Rocky's a fan. Sure. Rocky's been to wrestling. Rocky's been to hockey. You know Rocky and hockey. Rocky's been to the WNBA, the NBA.
They should actually name it the NRL.
He's been to
National
a Laker
Rocky
game.
League.
He's been to Yankee Stadium. He's been to Citi Field.
He's been to more of these great venues than some real fans have been to.
It's true.
But by the way, he's declared, though, he is rooting for the Mets. He is not some
dog.
Oh, I just root for New York.
Clown
he's in
dog.
for the Mets.
Why would he root for the Mets?
He's from Queens.
Oh.
I can't believe you had the nerve to call this beautiful 14-year-old animal a, quote, clown dog.
Well, since his daddy is going to be wearing a clown uniform in February, he might as well settle.
Wow. Clown show.
Clown show. Clown show. Clown show.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's a big week. It's a
moving week.
Some could say it's moving week. If I don't start to turn this thing around, and particularly in a week in which it looks so dire, like this is when I have to just come up with something big. I got to score here.
Now, it's interesting. If you want to take all the pressure off your weekend, just bet the Giant and Jet game because it's a Sunday night and a Monday night. You don't have to worry until Sunday night.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm interested in one of those games.
No, but it's not the Giant game.
No. I am more. I don't care. I lay everything out here. I mean, Don. Part of me feels the Bills just go to town on the Jets on Monday. It's out there. Yeah.
I'm not feeling
I already had my feeling on a Jet bounce back spot, and it was last week. But I don't know if I love it. But I mean, how often do you get a team that's markedly better than another team? Sorry, Jets fans, and it's under 3 points. It's appealing to me. Well, real quick, and do they have a new playbook?
Yeah, well, they have a new play caller.
New play caller, cool. And do we feel good about him?
We don't have any idea.
Todd Downing? Okay. Great. And the head coach, how do we feel about him as a head coach?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Cool. And Rodgers, was he in on this decision, happy with it, against it? What do we...
Doesn't seem like he was.
No.
Well, he says that, Nick Wright, who works for Fox.
That's right.
He had a great line about Rodgers. He said, why should a guy who's lied to me 9 times in a row actually be upset that I don't believe him the 10th time? Think about that. When has he ever really been totally, forthright about the vaccination? Again, I'm not saying he was right or wrong, but he definitely...
But he wasn't forthright.
He wasn't forthright.
But he will tell you that's the only time that he ever lied, and that's the only time that he's regretted anything. So that's where the rub is. He would say, when did I lie?
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's where he would stand on, is that I don't lie to people. I had a mistruth about the vaccine, saying that I was immunized.
Mistruth.
It's like the misremembered stuff. It's all just, I got to tell you, we throw it around a lot when there should be a picture of Rodgers next to the definition of semantics. I think it's all just wordplay and games that kind of just acted as a distraction to get him off the hook of a lot of things. But he would probably, if you were here and you asked him, when did I lie? And you would say, well, the immunization, I apologize for that already. When else? Am I wrong?
Saying I apologize for something doesn't all of a sudden make it not a lie.
Right, like my dad said. Sorry doesn't fix the lamp.
Apologize. Well, in the book, Michael, it wasn't really an apology. It was like he regretted the way that went down. Like I think, didn't he explain it like, I honestly thought that was the right answer at the time, but then was proven wrong, was kind of the way he went. It went there. So it was almost like the cream in the clear, right? I didn't know. Everybody's got a word salad to get at anything nowadays.
Well, particularly him. He's the word salad king.
See, but he's the dangerous type of word salad king because I really, truly believe he's a smart guy. So his word salad is tasty. Well, it's not just lettuce. But he's got a lot of croutons in there. He's got some ointment. The whole deal. It's a good-looking salad.
But that's why I think he's smart, too. That's why I believe him that he never said fire solid. Because he's smart enough to know if I say that, then anytime I say I didn't say it, it's a lie. Or somebody might say, no, he did say it. As long as he doesn't say it, then he's not lying. But I think everybody knows that he's not unhappy by what happened.
Eric Kendricks and Micah Parsons officially out for Sunday against the Lions.
No, that's not what you want.
Yep. So another little bit of a nugget there for you to help your picks, Peter. Let's go to Mark in Dix Hills.
Fellas, how are you? Great show as always.
Thanks.
By the way, John was out of his mind. Come on. Boone is doing not a great job, but a good job. I go back to Casey Stengel. Believe me, he's doing a decent job. Can you imagine? I don't care. Listen to me. Can you imagine if Judge gets hot? This game is over. We got Cole. He's unbelievable. But I'm going to get to something that you won't like. Costas and Darling sucked. sucked last night. And let me tell you, if you guys back them up, you're out of your mind. I know a ton of Yankee fans. It was unlistenable. Michael, you got to do the game, period. And you spoke to this point the other day. You all did. It's a local situation. Right. Michael, you're our guy.
Do it, Michael.
How the hell do I have to listen to Darling and Costas? And God bless you. And Happy New Year to Peter.
Thank
God
you.
bless,
Thank
boys.
you, Mark. Listen, if you didn't like Bob and Ron, that's your opinion. And Don has taught me, and I've learned that lesson. I can't say your opinion is wrong. What I said yesterday in an awful announcing was nice enough to pick it up, and then it was aggregated, picked up by the Post. I said that, when people criticize Costas and Michaels, these are two of the iconic voices of all time. Now, that doesn't preclude them from being criticized. So if you don't like him and you don't like the thing that bothers me, if you don't like him because you don't like the style of broadcast, that's one thing. Don, to not like him because he's not me, because it's not a local broadcast, that's a little, that's a bridge too far for me to cross.
I believe that the criticisms of Costas were fair. I don't believe the criticisms of Darling are fair, because I think that guy's just coming from, I don't want a Met broadcaster and a former Met calling the Yankee. So I think that's where that's coming from. Maybe he misspoke. I think he was kind of trolling Boone there, don't you?
No, I don't think trolling.
He's not a great manager. He's a good manager.
I think Yankee fans find it very hard to give Boone any love. I don't think it was trolling.
I thought he was just misdoing your phrase of he's not good, he's great.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
No, I think that's true. I wonder what if the Yankees win the World Series, right? Would they begrudgingly give Aaron Boone any kind of love? Or would they have won despite him? Because I'm seeing a lot of the people that constantly criticize the Yankee organization and Boone, they're kind of lying in wait on Twitter. They're not totally receding into the bushes, but let's see. They won. If only Boone would make more moves. He won the series. I do again, Don. In the history of the world, when it's written, Don's going to be right a lot. But I wonder if there's a segment of Yankee fans that would rather be right and the Yankees get eliminated than have to, chow down on their words and have the Yankees win their 28th World Series.
I don't think one championship is going to make a Yankee fan fall in love with Boone and Cashman. I don't think one will be enough. I still think they'd want them both gone. Now, if they win a couple in a row, then that might be a different story. But if they win one and then end up, not winning next year, I think it'll just start up again. I don't think one will be enough. It wasn't enough for Girardi, Michael. They wanted Girardi gone. He won in 2009. Wasn't enough.
Don, they wanted Torrey gone after he lost in 2004. They wanted him gone.
So they will turn on you, but I don't think they've ever been in on Boone. So, and Cashman, I don't know if they've ever been on Cashman either. And if they were, it was a long, long time ago. I don't think one's going to be enough. And the thing is,
but it will be for the winter. I mean, they'd have to go back into their caves if the Yankees won in the winter. There wouldn't be people calling up saying get rid of Boone if they won in this year.
Well,
I mean, that would be lunacy.
They'll go away like the Stanton critics have gone away today, and will for the rest of the playoffs if he continues to hit. But they'll be back. They will be back. Well, Michael, it's going to take more than one for them to just be head over heels for Cashman and Boone the way they were for Torrey back in the day. Listen, I think, and we're talking about the ones that call. I think the majority of the fan base is going to fall in love with this team if they win, and Boone and Cashman will be a part of that. But I'm just talking about the anti-Boone and Cashman crowd. I don't think one's going to be enough.
You're probably right. It won't be enough if in May they're 5 games out. And if the Mets win the World Series, all the people that were jumping up the bandwagon at 0-5 and 11 games under 500, they'll be back. They'll be back if they get off to a bad start again. I think that's just the way sports is now.
I know,
and everybody has a bullhorn.
I don't know if it'll be that drastic for the Mets, but let's say they don't get Soto, and the team gets off to a slow start. Yeah, maybe eventually you might catch some shrapnel. Sure, I think that just comes with New York, but I do think there will be a honeymoon period for a little while if the Mets were to win.
Yeah, first homestand. When we get back, ENN with Peter. Nothing better than a Friday ENN.
Ever.
I love it.
Because,
I'm
you know,
so
the
excited.
announcer lineup happens, too.
It's a special one, too.
So that's when I get to step away and go to the bathroom. Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about PC Richard and Son.
The Michael K. Show on Yes is brought to you in part by Mezcal Campante. This season's must-drink mezcal. Champions drink Campante.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell. My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents? My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents on planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on now. You gonna jump that?
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
Hi, I'm Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. Some people say, why should I take Prevagen? I don't have a problem with my memory. Memory loss is not something that occurs overnight. I started noticing subtle lapses in memory. I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. It's helped my memory. It's helped my cognitive qualities. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen at stores everywhere without a prescription.
That 808, can you feel that BASS bass?
Love the way you move with intelligent around view monitor on the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks.
Now get a low $239 per month lease for 36 months on the all-new Nissan Kicks.
We got nets.
Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, from big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Find the perfect fit at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide.
Do you spend hours maintaining your gutters? Save that time with LeafGuard's maintenance-free system. Call 1-833-2-GUTTERS. Mesh filters sit on top of your gutters, building up debris and eventually clogging. Then they need to be cleaned too. Honestly, your home should have been built with LeafGuard gutters. LeafGuard's wraparound hood deflects debris and keeps water away from your home. The one-piece seamless system is strong, 20% thicker than average and built to last. Plus, LeafGuard is guaranteed to never clog for as long as you own your home. Right now, get a complete LeafGuard system for only $99 down, $99 a month, and $99 installation. You'll also receive a $100 Visa gift card with a free gutter inspection and in-home estimate. Damage from clogged gutters can cost you thousands. Never worry about clogged gutters again. Don't wait, you've still got time. Call 1-833-2-GUTTERS today. That's 1-833-2-GUTTERS.
The
Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And Yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. Just seeing him happy. I looked through his eyes. I envisioned a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. I'm happy because he's advancing in life. My life is now devoted to his life.
The freedom to live in safety. That's an American dream.
What would you do for clean water? For over 700 million people around the world, the answer is literally anything. Walk for hours, stop going to school, sacrifice sleep, health, money, and time, all for water that's not even safe to drink. It doesn't have to be this way. This is a problem we can solve together. Join Charity Water in our mission to end the global water crisis. Visit charitywater.org today.
Happy Arab Yom Kippur, everyone. Have a safe, wonderful, amazing fast if that's what you choose to do. The fast is technically supposed to start, I believe, at like 6:20. But Michael, fraud Jew that I am, mine won't start till probably 7 o'clock.
Why is that?
Program. Well, because I'm not going to take off the show, because then I'd be, cursed by you. So I'd rather just finish the show and have an issue with God. Because in some ways, Michael, you're like all of our God. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
That's strong.
No, well, I mean, the timing is such that, listen, I'm not Orthodox. I don't need to start my fast at 6:20. I can wait till 6:45. It'll be okay.
Will you make it up on the back end?
No.
Okay.
No. Ian tonight is brought to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisi and
Come get some.
Yeah. It's already made up on the back end, Anthony. It always feels like for some reason the break fast ends later than it begins. So I'm not throwing in another 15 minutes on top of that. No,
I understand completely.
Thank you. Let's start off by saying good evening to Michael.
Phantasmagorical game. Wow.
Don, you didn't enjoy that?
No.
Why not?
I'm not sure.
Phantasmagorical game.
Just listen. Michael's been very complimentary of me today.
You are so pathetic, Don. You are a pathetic piece of trash. Oh my God! You know we can't do anything for you. That's utterly clear. Let's say good evening to Don.
You know what? We can run up the poll and see if they can even work the poll.
Oh my God, that was interesting.
I love that.
Good evening to myself.
Submit your question for Garrett.
Michael, that one's audible. I'd like to apologize.
Oh, really? But the hitting the Titanic hitting the iceberg wasn't.
Well, no, that was actually ridiculous. This one's actually something. Let's hear it one more time.
So Corinne was just being nice when she said she didn't hear it, or does she need to?
Well, Anthony usually turns these things up. Anthony, is that original playback? Is it turned up?
It was loud on its own, Peter.
Oh. Let me hear the original.
Submit your question for Garrett.
That's why I had to comment, Michael. Go like, what is that?
Yeah, I was going to let it go because, again, I don't always want to be the bad guy. So I'm glad that you stepped into that role.
That was surprising. It was my whatchamacallit, my tea, my boba tea, and I'm surprised it did that because the straw.
Nope.
I don't think I could get that to happen again, even if I tried. Let's say good evening to myself and Michael. I interviewed a friend this week on Cheap Heat, a great wrestling podcast. You can find it wherever you find podcasts.
Very subtle, but it was there.
Well, that's what makes you a bad guy. That's why watching you kiss Michael's ace in front of everybody is so sad. Because you enjoy that subtlety, but not in Michael's phantasmagorical, the that I added. Play it again, Anthony.
Phantasmagorical game.
You don't enjoy that?
It was good. I'm just trying to...
Or Tom, I should say. Thank you. Yeah, you're trying too hard. And lastly, let's say good evening to the woman who introduced Woody Johnson.
Ambassador Johnson.
All right. Guys, a lot to get to in the NFL, but before we do that, can we ask Carlos Mendoza who the Game 1 starter will be, please?
No, yeah, we're having these conversations. We need to talk to some of the players, and we got to check how some of those guys are feeling, and then we'll make a decision. Obviously, we'll have to announce it tomorrow, and we're in the process of it.
But tell us, Mendy, does the starter depend on who you play?
We're going to make the decision that we feel is best for our team. So whether it's keeping some of the guys in their routines or giving some of the guys some extra rest. So that's why we were off yesterday, about to get on a workout today. And then I'm going to check with some of the guys and have those conversations with them and then make the final decision. But we have an idea. We have different routes that we could go. But again, I don't think who we're playing will factor into this decision.
Can we actually say what a great job this guy's done all year?
Oh, yeah.
How could you not? How could you not?
I don't think he's getting the proper love. I mean, this team was 11 games under. They were out of it, essentially. People were calling for them to make trades, and the guy kept them together and played hard. And I got to give credit to David Stearns, too, because if you look at the roster that started the season, Don, they got rid of everyone that didn't perform. They just got rid of them. Brett Beatty, gone. Let's bring up Mark Vientos. I mean, they made aggressive moves. They emptied half the roster and redid it. So Stearns deserves a lot of credit.
No, he does. And I think in Met circles, definitely Mendoza is going to get credit, and I think he'll win National League Manager of the Year.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Pat Murphy will.
Don, I'd like you to power rank Howard Stern.
Okay.
David Stern. David Stearns. And Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern's fourth.
Yeah, I agree.
No way. I'm putting. I don't have. What has David Stearns done for me?
I don't know.
Daniel Stearns at Home Alone, for God's sake.
Yeah.
That's you can't. You don't. That's nothing to sniff
I can't
at.
say that there wasn't other people that could have played that role.
You don't think he was good at that
He
role?
was, but he's saying that you could have put Michael Keaton in that role. He would have been brilliant too.
It's not why you watch the movie. And he was a good voice in, what was that ABC show from the 90s?
Wonder Years, you think?
Yeah, but other people could have done it, and it would be fine.
Well, hold on. And someone else could do this show every day. That doesn't mean you're not good at what you do.
It might happen.
I completely 100% agree. So, he's fine. Matter of fact, Nancy got me his book.
You didn't enjoy him in the Billy Crystal vehicle, City Slickers?
Again, anybody could have played that.
But Don, you can't. Michael, this should upset. Michael, this should frustrate you. You could say that about any actor in almost any role.
I don't think many people could have played Rocky other than Sly.
No, I'm just saying. No, listen,
he invented that character. It's different.
He's a really good actor, and Nancy bought me his book, and I'm going to read his book. I'm just saying I have never watched a movie because he was in it.
So,
and have you watched a baseball team because David Stearns was the GM
this year? Yeah.
That's why you're watching.
Well, no, not so.
Yeah, but the team is good because of David Stearns.
That's why they're scheduled to play a game coming up on Sunday.
You don't know that. Anyone could have done that job. They could have gotten another GM. So many people could have done that job.
Didn't.
It didn't. It could have been so many people.
Brody Van Wagenen didn't.
Brian Cashman couldn't have done it?
Well, you know what? He wasn't available.
Well, neither was Humphrey Bogart to be in City Slickers.
He was dead.
I don't think Bogart would have did well in City Slickers.
I would go Howard, David.
Wait, you would go Howard over David? David kind of rescued the NBA.
Yeah, he did. I mean, you can make the case.
Now, you know how I feel about Howard. I love him.
Oh, well, no. I'm still taking Howard.
But listen, he's the king of all media, right? So,
well, he made that
up. I know,
yeah,
but it's not like it. You didn't go, well, what is he talking about? No, I'd probably go
Howard, David, Daniel, David to me.
No. Daniel Stearns is one. Is four.
Well, first of all, you put in David Stearns. It's a plural. The other guys are not a plural, so it's not the same thing.
What are we doing? Yeah, what
about Joanna? And add Joanna Kearns into this. All right, you know what it's time for? This week's NFL announcer lineup. Thank you, Michael. I knew you'd get on board this week. I had a hunch. Let's get started. And this is a double whammy. You don't see this every day. let's not only get in a plane and travel to foggy London town, yeah? But let's get into a time machine and go to Thursday night. Because it's Jacksonville and Chicago in London. Don, you smell it?
Yeah, it's not.
It sure smells like Thursday on a Sunday morning. I'll tell you the moment the Bears got you, McMahon. All right, we never play that enough. It's an NFL Network vehicle, which means I'm going to be tortured. Rich Eisen's on the call.
These guys, if they fall down hard and long.
He'll be joined by the amazing dulcet tones of Kurt Warner.
You FaceTime me in the middle of my massage.
Stacey Dales and Steve Weish. The Bears have covered 5 straight games as favorites. 3-0 against the spread this season. 5 straight London games have gone under the total. 4-0 since the start of last season for you bettors. All right, let's get out of London and out of Thursday and go to Sunday at 1 o'clock. We go
Wait
Baltimore.
a second. London's not on Thursday. It's Sunday morning.
Yeah, but he's saying it's got a Thursday feel, Michael.
Oh.
That's the
Let's go.
That's the earliest you've checked out to this. I mean,
I kept hearing.
No, that hurts, Don. Because I make a lot of mistakes, but thinking that I thought that Sunday was yesterday, that's troubling.
You know what? You're both right. I can't even get up from it.
Let's go to Baltimore. In fact, I'll be at M&T Stadium. The Battle of the Beltway. Maybe more appropriately, the Battle of the BW Parkway. Whatever you want. It's on CBS at 1 o'clock, and I can't believe my Commanders will be blessed with the voice of Jim Nance.
Hello, Fritz.
And, of course, that means Anthony Romo's in tow.
First down, everyone. I did it.
They'll both be joined, in fact, by the great Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. The Commanders have covered 4 straight games, while the Ravens have covered in 3 straight. Overs are 4-1 in both Commanders and Ravens games this season. Now, here's the deal. I'm serious, people. Here's the deal. A lot of stats are going to tell you to ride the Ravens in this game. Lamar Jackson against the NFC is absolutely insane. Of course, they've looked like the Ravens quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, which is why they are a 6.5-point favorite as we speak. Let's go to Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Cardinals and the Packers, 1 o'clock on Fox. Kevin Kugler on the call. He'll be joined by Daryl Moose Johnson and Laura Oakman. We go to New England. Don, you throw the record books out when you get the Texans and the Patriots. Oh, man. The luckiest man in broadcasting is Kevin Harlan.
That was a thick pick.
He'll be joined by Trent Green and Melanie Collins. We go to Nolens, the home of the Super Bowl and the home of the New Orleans Saints. Who are they starting at quarterback again, Anthony?
Spencer Rattler.
Oh, boy, you throw out the record books again when it's a Rattler party. That's right, the Tampa Bay Bucks, Baker Mayfield against Spencer Rattler, 1 o'clock on Fox. Adam Amin on the call.
Now stands erect.
He'll be joined by Greg Wilson.
I'm aggressive by nature.
And Pam Oliver.
I will accept gifts at every single stadium.
Let's go to Philadelphia. Now, this is an interesting game.
It is.
The Eagles are desperately trying to right this ship, and they could have A.J. Brown back. Cleveland is a 9.5-point dog. Apparently, they're still going to try to trot out Deshaun Watson. 1 o'clock on Fox. Kenny Albert on the call.
Call in the authorities.
He'll be, what was that, Kenny?
Call in the authorities.
Call in the authorities. That's right. Let's also announce Jonathan Vilma on the call. And, of course,
fire, Kenny. Why don't they listen to me? Why don't they have the Vilma, the Flintstone thing? Why? It's perfect.
Yeah, let's hear what you guys got used for Vilma. Let's try it again.
Apparently they have a fire, Kenny.
You know what? I like the Wilma idea.
Wilma! That's it.
Let's do that again.
Hold on. You know what? I'm going to try this all again. All right. On the call, Kenny Albert.
Call in the authorities.
Jonathan Vilma.
Wilma!
And Megan O'Leary.
The Trophy Hall of Fame. Sick.
Oh, I like how that worked out. All right, Don. Could Could it be a second Thursday?
Really?
This Sunday? Oh, yeah, baby. 1 o'clock on CBS. We go to Tennessee. The Colts and the Titans. Spiro Didi's on the call. Spiro Didi's? He'll be joined by Adam Archuleta.
Adam Golden Archuleta.
And Aditi Kinkobala. We go to Denver for the 4:05 start. The Chargers, the Broncos, an AFC West clash on CBS. Andrew Catalan on the call.
Going up high and bringing it down for 6.
He'll be joined by our afternoon drive nemesis, Tiki Barber.
You know what's funny? We were on a quest to find Quest.
Jason McCourty and A.J. Ross on the sideline. Also at 4:05, the Steelers and the Raiders in an old-school classic on CBS. Our friend Ian Eagle on the call.
What if I called you a wanker?
Charles Davis and Evan Wyman.
The lobby is bustling. There is an energy here.
4:25, and this is a doozy. I could almost say it's Thursday for a third time. Let's go to North Kakalaki. The Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. The Falcons 6-point favorites on the road with Kirko Chains. 4:25 on Fox. Chris Myers on the call.
I have Chris Myers.
He'll be joined by Mark Sanchez.
It's like a salmon covered in Vaseline, bro. This guy's just too slippery.
And one half of Pink and Stink, Christina Pink. So the big dogs will all be out. You know Tom Brady, he has to go to one place. It's called Dallas, Texas, America. Detroit, Dallas. This is sexy, baby. 4:25 on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt on the call.
Keith, these are definitely not pumpkins.
He'll be joined by Thomas Brady, Aaron Andrews.
Who was talking about you?
And Tom Rinaldi.
That he was actually ready to come out and play. That he's, pardon me, he's...
The Lions are 10-12 against the spread off a bye since 2012. 2-1 under Dan Campbell and 11-3 against the spread with extra rest under Campbell. The Cowboys are 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games as home dogs. We go to Sunday Night Football, guys. A double whammy of national games for your local team. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 on NBC. Mike Tirico on the call for the Giants and the Bengals.
They still seem to resonate.
There are 3 teams.
Chris Collinsworth.
Stop it.
And Melissa Stark. The Bengals
You have
are
no
18
clip from Melissa? Oh.
No, we don't. The Bengals are 18-9 against the spread on the road since the start of 2021. Daniel Jones is 1-13 in his career in primetime games. 1-13, 6-8 against the spread. We may have lost Don for the rest of the segment. We'll see. We go to Monday night, 8:15 on ABC and ESPN. Joe Buck on the call.
So we'll welcome you in the booth just to prove that we're still here.
Troy Aikman.
The missus likes it.
And Lisa Salters.
Sexist pigs. You don't have a lot of clips for the women announcers, and I don't like it.
It's harder to find funny clips for the sideline reporters. We've done the work. All right.
You found one for Tom Rinaldi, though, my friend.
It took
Peyton
a while,
Manning.
though, Michael.
Yeah, and all it is him clearing his throat. I mean, it's not... We also have a Manning cast. Did you guys know that the 3 Manning brothers, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Bill Belichick, will all be together for the... By the way, can I just say, I love our company. I don't get it. Like, why is he permanent on the Manning cast?
Because Peyton hired him.
But it's stupid.
Why? He's not on the whole show.
But, like...
I still haven't watched it.
You have yet to watch a Manning cast.
Yep, still haven't done it.
You know what? You're that guy.
No, I admit it.
There's a finger.
I am being that guy. You know how I love Eli. Now it'd just be stupid. Keep the streak alive.
I'm in the middle of a show, Dad. I can't go to my room right now.
Teams coming off a game in Europe without taking a bye week, the Jets, they're 8-7 against the spread. The Jets are 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games as dogs. That is your announcer lineup, and that will do it for ENN on this Friday. It was brought to you by our friends at Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Jeep Adventure days.
All right, so just tighten it up for next week, okay? We need a Stark. We want the Wilma thing, and we need a Stark cut.
All right, I like what you're saying.
And don't make it like Tony Stark from Iron Man. It's got to be
What about
Melissa
Ned Stark from Game of Thrones?
I have no idea that reference. None. Never saw a second.
You know what?
It's not a second of Game of Thrones.
Grab something from the John Stark's IKEA read.
It's not a Kia. It's Kia.
Whatever.
He doesn't do a furniture store, Reed.
I know. It didn't resonate with me, obviously.
Wow. One of our sponsors. Good job, Don. Anyway.
I haven't heard that spot in a while.
But, they could come back.
Well, and you certainly won't be hearing it for a while.
But you know what we will hear, Peter? Something about BetMGM in just a second.
Oh.
That's right. Hey, football fans, there's just some feelings.
With Udemy, there's a world of possibility at your fingertips. With one click, you're in the leading online marketplace for learning and skills. Want to become an AI expert? This is learning from real-world experts around the globe. Want to awaken your artistic side? This is learning your way. Want to switch professions? Help your team reskill? This is Udemy, the power of possibilities.
1. These cuts have likely been sitting out all day long. 2. You have no idea when they were packaged or where they came from. That's why we choose to get our protein from ButcherBox instead. This is high-quality meat you can trust and enjoy. It's packed and conveniently sent straight to your door, so you don't even have to think about your next grocery trip. Stock up your freezer and whip up a quality meal every night by checking out ButcherBox.com.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. Switch to fast setup and even faster checkouts. Switch to making every sale the way you want and the way they want, too. Switch to one system connecting every tool to every task, even as your business grows. Gain time and peace of mind with tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
Slow and steady wins the race. You hear it so often you forget just how amazing slow can be. At Acorns, we help your money harness the power of slow. Invest what you can. Give it a chance to grow with time. We believe that slower is better for your money and other stuff too. Barbecue, instant replay, slow dancing. Ooh, so slow. Acorns, grow your oak.
This line is insane.
Talk about boarding. Should I say that out loud?
I know it's in here somewhere. Ah, there you are.
Ugh, this sandwich is saving me from a meltdown.
Did I remember to pack my toothbrush?
Why does everyone have the same bag?
Oh my God. Is that Alan Ruck?
Finally.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now arriving, salt-side suitcases from away.
What's cooking good looking? I am fixing up some family favorite recipes from Home Chef. You know, Home Chef delivers all the fresh ingredients for delicious meals every day of the week. We've got our classic Parton family recipes, like this family favorite meatloaf, fried chicken and gravy, and even our sirloin steak. This smells as good as it looks. Enjoy these recipes from our kitchen to yours.
It hurt all the time, like the nerves were rubbing against each other.
I was at the point of either replace my knees because I'm tired of this pain.
Get the relief you need without surgery. We're Arthritis Knee Pain Centers, the premier leaders in non-surgical knee pain treatments. Instead of surgically replacing your knees, our state-of-the-art procedures replenish the depleted natural cushioning in your joints with an FDA-approved shock-absorbing gel, without surgery and without downtime.
After the first injection, I knew it was going to work.
We've successfully treated thousands of patients. Medicare and most private insurance cover this procedure.
Full motion, no pain, walking, everything just back normal like it used to be.
Locations in Garden City, Smithtown, and Wall, New Jersey. Call 1-800-834-5911 for a no-charge, no-obligation knee pain assessment or go to arthritis-kneepain.com.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. These highlights are brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees.
To the right side for a base hit. Torres being waved home. It's juggled in right field by Fan, so it's a good point, and the Yankees immediately jump it for 1-0. Line drive to right, it's going to drop for a base hit. Torres comes through.
eligible for the $2,000 grand prize. Follow along on the ESPN New York app, powered by runyourpool.com. Don't know if you saw this, guys, but ABC has added 6 of Monday Night Footballs for a simulcast. And the reason is simply that, according to Pro Football Talk, NFL action outperforms anything that Hollywood can create.
Yeah. So they've done what?
Monday Night Football. You know, during the pandemic, when Hollywood wasn't making anything, the NFL allowed Monday Night Football to be simulcast on ABC.
Right.
Well, there was only a certain number that were going to be simulcast this year. Now ABC is taking 6 of the Monday night games remaining because it gets better ratings than anything they could find.
But what did they think was going to do well? Like they obviously started the year thinking that they were going to put something on and not put a football game on. So what failed them?
Don't know.
I don't know what's on. I know that is the Golden Bachelorette on Mondays.
Don't know.
Something must have happened. You would something would have been moved because if that's and that certainly is the reason. But if it was, they didn't think they could produce anything that would be as big as football, then wouldn't that be the original schedule? So I'm wondering, what did they think would be okay that they either had to move or pull?
I'm also wondering, would the NFL demand more money? Because putting it on ESPN is one thing, but by putting it on ABC, you have the equivalent of what NBC has on Sunday Night Football. Although NBC probably has better level games, but this is a great game they have this week.
I don't know, Michael, because I would think the package is the package, right? Like ABC negotiates and they can put it where they want. So,
but do you think if Amazon negotiated the package and then they decided to sell it to Fox to put it on Thursday nights?
No, what I'm saying is that there's probably a minimum amount of games that have to be on ABC, but I don't know if they have to pay more if they decide to expand it more than that.
Well, I don't think there's a minimum amount of games. I think all the games are contracted to be on ESPN, and I guess ESPN has the rights to simulcast it on ABC.
But don't you think that the NFL would have thought, all right, we'll negotiate with you, but we don't want, if they're all going to be on cable, it's one price. But if you're going to put a certain amount, I would think that there is probably a minimum amount of games that were supposed to be on ABC or some kind of flexibility to that. But no, it's amazing. Even a lousy game is just going to produce an amazing rating. Football is just incredible, the numbers that they pull.
Let's go to Jim in Westchester. This is always fun.
Hi, guys. Long-time listener, second-time caller. I called in before Peter, and since. I just love the show. I loved it before. I loved it since Peter's joined, so I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I just want to weigh in on this whole Yankee fan, Met hater. I don't hate the Mets. But I guess what bothers me is being defined and judged by one criteria. It sounds sometimes like what you guys are saying is, if you don't hate the Mets, you're not a fan. And I think that's where I get concerned.
Let's do a delineation. Do you root for the Mets?
So 2 things. I have.
Well, then you're not a real Yankee fan.
Well, that was fast.
So wait. Let's go back. Let me ask you this logically.
Yeah.
So by logical reasoning, if someone hates the Mets and is a cash fan, as you all said, fair weather Yankee fan, whatever, does that make them a better Yankee fan? I don't want to get defensive and start giving my criteria because I know I don't want to talk about how long I've been a Yankee fan. I will say, Michael, I go back to the days. For me, the K corner was religious reading every morning on the Twitter. So,
but Jim, what's your involvement with the Mets? I don't get it. If you're a Yankee fan, what do you care what the Mets are doing?
It's not that. Well, that's what I'm saying, Michael. So there are times where I'm apathetic, and there's times where I have.
Were you rooting for the Mets to beat the Phillies?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Why? I want to know why.
I don't like the Phillies.
Are you going to root for the Mets to beat either the Dodgers or the Padres?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
Jim, I'm sorry. You're not a real fan.
How about this? A better one.
Wait, can I just say this? If it turns into a World Series, I hope the Yankees beat them in 4 by double digits.
And then what happens when the Mets beat them? What happens if the Mets beat them? How are you going to feel then for rooting for the Mets to get there?
It won't matter.
I'll probably hate them then. But what I'm trying to say is I don't hate them all the time. I mean, I look back on the Mets team in '86. That was a fun team to watch. I enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
And by the way, we all know the '80s were pretty dark days for the Yankees.
So yeah. Wait, well, let me ask you this.
I'm just trying to say.
Let Don make his point, Jim.
I'm secure enough in my fandom. I'm okay with how I feel. I just want to push back because I sometimes feel like the argument is, unless you hate the Mets, you're not.
I don't think you have to hate them. I don't see why you'd root for them. So if the Yankees lose in the League Championship Series and the Mets win and go to the World Series and play the Guardians, who are you going to root for?
I'm not sure. And that goes to my point. By that point, if the Yankees are out, I'm probably going to be apathetic at that point. I'm probably
but then to me, Jim, and we thank you for the phone call right up against the clock, then you're not a diehard. We're not saying you're a bad person. You're cash. That's all you are. Because if the Yankees lose in the ALCS and the Mets win in the NLCS, and then you root for the Mets to win the World Series, or you're even apathetic, you're not a diehard.
Wait, if you're even apathetic?
Yeah, even why? Because you got to root against them because you don't understand the hell that you're going to go through.
I think
it's Michael. It's not 1971, and people aren't you. It's not the same experience.
I do think I'm okay with them just not caring. Like, I'm not even going to watch. Like, my team's out. I'm done. Whatever. Like, I don't think you have to sit there and root for whoever the Mets are playing like it's the Yankees. If you just don't care, I'm a Yankee fan. They're done. I'm going to go watch hockey and basketball or football. I think that's fine too. To sit there and openly root for the Mets as a Yankee fan, I just don't get that.
Don, see, you say different things.
I know,
Don.
I know. That's where Michael and I disagree. I think
you don't get it,
still falls into
fine.
Rooting against.
No. But not only that, you're saying you don't get it. Michael's making an entire determination about who they are if they do that. There are a lot of people who, if one of these teams is out, even though they are a fan of that team, are going to be more interested in the World Series because the other New York team is playing.
I'll tell you this, Peter.
Go ahead.
For some reason, I don't know if it's some kind of wiring in the mind, I think Yankee fans are, okay, whatever, sure, I'll root for the Mets. I don't think that one Met fan would root for the Yankees. If the Yankees are in the World, they wouldn't be apathetic. They'd be rooting against the Yankees.
Quickly, when we come back, I'm going to define it a little bit better for Peter and see if Michael agrees.
All right, we're going to have Joe Fortenbaugh on as well to give us his picks, and then we'll have our picks a little bit later on in the hour. The K Show rolls on right here on Yes on 880 ESPN.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
I chose Upstart because I was on financial aid for school. It did run out. Once I found Upstart, I was kind of relieved. They're interested in my background. They were looking at more than just my credit score. I was able to get my money fast. I was able to consolidate all of those credit cards into one payment and raise my credit score so that I was able to make that move right after college.
Switch to Square and join over 4 million businesses worldwide. More than a point of sale, Square keeps you ready for any restaurant rush. And with Square, there are no hidden fees ever. At Square, get 24/7 support to help keep lines moving. And with Square Banking, get a loan quickly for everything from small repairs to the biggest dreams. Gain time and peace of mind with restaurant tools that bring everything together. Switch to Square today. Visit square.com to get started.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that take game night next level. That belong center stage. And totally own the big picture. A shoe for every you. A DSW.
Ingredient apoaquarin, originally discovered in jellyfish and found only in Prevagen. In a clinical study, Prevagen was shown to improve memory in subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired. Stay sharp and improve your memory with Prevagen. Prevagen, in stores everywhere without a prescription.
Meet the traveling trio. The thrill seeker, the soul searcher, and ahoy, it's the explorer. Each helping to protect their money with Chase. Whoa, a lost card isn't keeping this thrill seeker down. Lost her card? Not the vibe. The soul searcher is finding his identity and helping to protect it. Oh yeah, the explorer. She's looking to dive deeper, all while Chase looks out for her. Because these friends have Chase. Alerts that help check, tools that help protect, one bank that puts you in control. Chase, make more of what's yours.
The Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
Something out that maybe Peter and I could understand better.
Well, because I think we throw die hard out wrong. You could be a fan of a team, go to a ton of games, watch every game, be fully invested in the team, but not be a diehard. A diehard to me is someone that is emotionally invested in the team. That when they win, it affects his mood. When they lose, it affects your mood. And you're devastated, thus the definition of die hard. Where it cripples you when your team loses. Going and pivoting and rooting for the Mets, for the city, then you're not a diehard. I'm not saying you're not a fan, but you're not to the level of diehard. A diehard means you die with your team, and then to see the Mets do well, it should kill you. If the Mets are getting a parade down the Canyon of Heroes, all you can think about is that should be us, not them. That's a diehard to me.
I think Don has solved this. And that to me is really it. So, like, when we keep going over and over again, which I'm fine with because it entertains me, I think that's where the gap is. Michael keeps applying it to sort of everyone who says they're a fan. It really is the term diehard. Like, if you say I'm a diehard fan, like, I kid you not, Commanders are out. I do not, obviously I watch football because it's football and it's America and we always enjoy it. I do not care what happens after.
Really? So if the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl, you're not rooting against them? Really?
Who are they playing?
Whomever. If you're a Redskin or a Commander fan, you have to hate the Cowboys.
But hold on. You're fighting. You're not understanding. Now you're getting into what even it means to be a diehard. Yes, I would root against the Cowboys in every scenario except maybe in a championship game against the Eagles. I would just want to end my life.
Well, that would be a Super Bowl.
But that's what I'm saying. But you jumped right to the Super Bowl. Yes, I would probably be rooting hard against Dallas, Philadelphia, or the Giants. But what I meant to say was not about that, is that to be a diehard is to truly, like, no other team winning in your sport brings you any real joy at all. That's the point. Like, a baseball, I'm a fraud. Like, I really like the Orioles. The second they were out, I'm interested in watching the Mets. Yeah, I like the team. I go to an Orioles game here and there. I don't die hard with that team.
That's it. I think die hard is another level.
That's the level where I think these rules kick in of, like, don't claim it's your life.
All due respect to Don, who I said history will prove him to be a genius. I've been saying this for the last 3 days, that you're not a diehard. You're just a cash.
No, well, there's
Cash, I think that's the leap that I'm not willing to take. Because
you're going a step further. You're now turning it into an insult of like you don't even like the team. You're not interested. No. There are people who they're fans. They're just not diehard
There are fans that watch every game. You might even be a season ticket holder. You might have posters of Yankees on your wall. You might have named your kids after Yankees.
No, that would be
wait. Because I know people. But then when they lose, it's like, all right, we'll get them next year.
Don?
All right, you're a fan, super fan, not a diehard. That's the difference, Tom.
All right,
I think Don nailed it. He's having a hell of a day.
Let's bring in our good friend Joe Fortenbaugh. And Joe, before you make your picks, we've been arguing about this. I say a real Yankee fan is not rooting for the Mets to win. They're just not. And a real Met fan not rooting for the Yankees to win. So I know you're an Eagles fan, but where do you fall on this?
Well, first of all, I don't know what hornet's nest you three have kicked over, but every time I go on Twitter or X, as we call it now, and I see a promotion of like, hey, Joe Fortenbaugh is joining the Michael K. Show, which is always very nice. It's very flattering. You see the mentions, and everybody that's in there is fighting over this topic or whether or not Judge is going to break out of this slump. And I'm like, what the hell crossfire am I getting caught up in here? And then, of course, every 1 out of 6, Fortenbaugh's college picks suck, which, yeah, I expect that at this point. So it's, you got a whole hornet's nest going on. But, yeah, where you guys stand, very simple. If you are a Mets fan, there is absolutely no way you should be feeling good for the Yankees at all. Yankees fans shouldn't be feeling good for Mets fans. I'm a Phillies fan. I hate both of you. I hate everyone in the NL East. I'm not rooting for anybody. Every now and again, there's a feel-good story that might be way outside my jurisdiction. I kind of like the Legion of Boom in Seattle years ago when they came up. I thought they were a fun story. It's not like they were my team, but they didn't really have a direct interest against Philadelphia. So, I kind of thought, hey, if it's not going to be the Eagles, this could be fun. But you can't root for the crosstown rival. What are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I love you.
So since
Who says yes, Peter?
Well, Peter's Peter's saying people of a certain age, younger people don't care that much.
Yeah. I'm defending some of these people, but I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying it's more common than you think.
Yeah, the younger generation is a little bit more reasonable, and I could see that. It's just there's a little bit of a more reasonable approach to life. They don't seem as angry as we used to be back in the day. I mean, when I was young, I was at Veterans Stadium. You guys know what that was like. It was a fist fight amongst friends. Like, forget about the Giant fans coming in or the Cowboy fans coming in. You were fist fighting each other. That's what it was. It's not necessarily like that anymore. So I see where Peter's coming from, but there is no goodwill towards the other team in the city. Like, if you're not going to have goodwill towards them the entire time, there's no goodwill towards them now. They got to fend for themselves. You guys got to fend for yourselves.
All right, you've got to fend for yourself with college. I mean, it's time for you to get right. So what college picks do you have?
It's an absolute disaster. The fact that you're still asking me for this pick, they're shocking to me regardless. But here we go. We're going to start tonight. We're going to lay it with Utah. It's sitting around 5.5. Word on the street is Cam Rising's coming back at quarterback. Hasn't been officially announced yet. I've already bet it like he's coming back. I bet it big. Utah's off a loss. Utah's off a bye week. They need to get right. They're playing an Arizona State team that's a little fraudulent, in my opinion. 4-1, but they didn't beat anybody. They beat Wyoming, Mississippi State. They can't throw the ball. Utah's very good defending the run. I'll lay the 5.5 tonight. Gonna lay Big Wood tomorrow with Illinois minus 22 against Purdue. All right, Big Wood in this one.
All right.
Here's the thing. Looks like Purdue has quit on the season. All right, they've lost their last 4 by like 35 points per game. They got guys that are decommitting from the program. Quarterback, from what I understand, might be in concussion protocol. They got a whole thing going on there. Illinois is off a bye. They just got worked by Penn State 2 weeks ago, and they remember this game from last year. Purdue put it on them, so it's a big revenge spot. Number 3.
Well, Joe, let me stop you for a second. Let me stop. The Purdue quarterback that's in concussion protocol, I saw him at the Travis Scott concert.
Is that true?
That's what I saw, yeah.
Wow. That's a big one.
Please go on.
That's huge. I don't even know how I get organized after that.
Well, see what we're doing? We're tying it together. Malik Neighbors has a concussion and went to the Travis Scott concert at MetLife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We're going to get more into that when we get to the NFL picks. That's interesting to me. That's a 2-week concussion thing. You don't see that all that often. Back to the college, though, very quickly, because I know everyone wants to bet against these. LSU plus 3.5 over Ole Miss. Disastrous spot for Ole Miss. 7th straight week with a game. They haven't had their bye week. Second half of a road back-to-back. They were at South Carolina last week. LSU's off their bye. LSU's at home. Ole Miss could be without Trey Harris, their top wide receiver. Even if he plays not 100%, I'll play LSU there. Night game Saturday night as you're trying to double up the action. Hawaii, Boise over 60.5. Boise, obviously, we know they can score, and Hawaii's going to put themselves in a position to put some points up as well. So the 4 I like the most are Utah minus 5.5 tonight, Illinois minus 22, LSU plus 3.5, Hawaii, Boise over 60.5. If you're playing the big games, I lean to Ohio State minus 3 and Texas minus 14. Those are not big wagers, but I will have small plays on both of them.
All right, so it's time for your NFL picks.
All right, so the top 3, because I know we like to do the graphics for social media. We're going to start with the Lions minus 3 over the Cowboys. All right, Detroit coming off their bye week. Jared Goff very good on the road, 13-3 against the number over his last 16 road games. Goff indoors always better than Goff outdoors. It's like 14 games they'll play this season indoors, which is why you got to like the Lions to win a bunch of games this season. Dallas is a one-trick pony. It's Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb, and that's it. And if you can't run the ball, which you're going to struggle to do that against Detroit anyway, I don't think you're going to have a balanced attack against these guys. Dallas's defense looks good because of the last couple weeks they haven't played elite offenses. I think they get exposed here. I'll lay the 3 with the Lions. Hate to do it, New York, but I'm not going to come on and do you any favors. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Cincinnati over the Giants. I think it's a buy low on the Bengals here. Neighbors obviously out. Hurts. Look-ahead line for this was 5.5. I have no idea why it's down to 3.5, but that Bengals offense can cook, and the defense had a players-only meeting this week. If you're a gambler, you love to hear about players-only meetings. You know that means they're going to ratchet it up a bit. So those are the top 2. I could go any direction for the final pick for the graphic. I'll go with Jacksonville in London plus the 1.5 over the Bears. I think the Bears are a little overvalued based on what we saw the last 2 weeks. They beat up on a really injured Rams team, and then they put it on the Panthers, who are terrible. Jacksonville undervalued because they started really slow, but they're starting to get that offense going a little bit. I think this is possibly one of the last buy low spots on them. So the official 3, Detroit minus 3, Cincinnati minus 3.5, Jacksonville plus 1.5.
Well, this is the unfortunate part of the segment, Joe. Every line you just gave is slightly different than our current line at ESPN Bet.
All right, let's go with the honest lines. What do we got?
The Jags are currently plus 1.
Okay.
So you feel good about that still?
Yeah, it's a halfway move. You can play that on the money line, too. But, yes, I'm still playing that.
And you'll like Detroit. Detroit's 3.5, not 3.
Okay, so here's the problem with that. 3 to 3.5, that's like the biggest move in all of sports betting. We've talked about that before. So here's what I tell you. I played it at 3. I'd play a smaller bet at 3.5. That's the advice to the listeners, okay? You got to go smaller at 3.5. It's definitely not as big a bet.
And the Giants game is Cincinnati minus 4.
Okay, we'll go ahead and lay the 4 there as well. That's not a big one.
All right, cool. Just want to get everyone honest, okay?
Beautiful.
Yep, of course. I appreciate it.
Now, you have also...
if you need my social security number...
Yes, please. Text it.
I got a
let
pen.
me know.
You have
Happy
also...
to get you whatever you need.
You have also mastered something that I've mastered over the years. Correct me if I'm wrong, you lost a bet and you had to shave that hideous mustache?
Well, I don't know if we need to get the adjectives involved with hideous. It depends on your point of view.
Well, I mean, if you were starring in a vivid video, it was great.
Whoa.
But with
I'm kidding. I got used to it. I think I prefer you mustached.
That's very nice. The thing is, it's a bit. I do it every year. I go away on vacation in the summer. I get a couple weeks off, and I don't shave because I hate shaving. And then I end up just keeping the mustache around, and I tie it to my Survivor pick. So when my first Survivor pick gets eliminated, which was, Peter, congratulations, Commanders beating the Bengals, I end up shaving the mustache after the pick gets eliminated. What's amazing is that I don't know what it is about me, but everyone feels compelled everywhere I go to tell me how bad it looks. Like, no one even thinks about like sugarcoating it or keeping it to themselves. I walk around ESPN and it's like, man, that thing looks hideous. And I think to myself, if I walked around society telling everybody what I thought of how they look, I'd be in HR, I'd be fired.
Right.
But yet everyone's able to tell me what they think about the mustache, and we all have a big laugh about it.
No, because it's a mustache. Nobody, unless you're that guy, wears a mustache. You either have lost a bet, it's like Movember, some kind of, you're donating money, you're trying to create awareness for something. Nobody wears the mustache for the look. So that's why they feel they can be critical of the mustache.
What about Paul Skeens? What about Tom Selleck?
Yeah, I think Skeens is
Tom
owning
Selleck back in the day. Skeens is clearly being that guy. Austin Wells is being that guy. I'm just telling you, I don't think anybody wears the mustache for the look unless they're just being that guy. So that's why I think it's it's subject to criticism, because I think people always feel 90% of the time the mustache is making some sort of a statement that allows you to be critical.
What's amazing is you take the four of us, you line us up in front of the Paris Fashion Week. I'm sure they'd agree that all of our fashion tips are exactly what the world needs right now.
100%. That's what's needed.
Thank
you for having me
so
on
much,
the other day.
Joe.
That was a good spot.
Don, it's always a pleasure. You coming on the show is fantastic. Kay's always big-timed us, so I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Peter, I would like to get Peter on around some of the big WWE events, because I'd like to double dip with Peter. We talk some sports.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I was going to include you on the group text. I reached out to Carlin, and I said, anytime you guys want to chat, if I know you guys are a national program, I'll be in Baltimore tomorrow for the big Commies-Ravens game. You guys ever need some good commie insight, you let me know.
Carlin ignored you, so that tells you all you need to know.
Not. Of course he didn't, because he's a friend and a gentleman.
But you're not on the show, are you?
Carlin didn't even tell me about that.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell me about that.
You know what? Then it's even worse than him not ignoring me. It's more insulting.
Have a good weekend, Joe.
Thanks,
Take
Joe.
care, man.
Love you, fellas. Best of luck with the playoffs. I'll talk to you soon.
Now, these two, there's two back-to-back tweets that I think is probably a better read on the rooting for or against a local team than we're making. All right, first is Matthew Blittner. He said, throwing in my 2 cents on this argument, I firmly believe the younger sports fans, he's 31, are more loose with fandoms because of their gambling interests. They are rooting for their bets, not necessarily a single team. And then Jim Berenger answers, that started with fantasy football. They root for players, not teams. That might have something to do with it. Because people of our age, Don, that most of them are not feeling this way.
But if you're rooting for players instead of teams in baseball, then you are casual. Then you're not living and dying with teams winning championships. You just want your player to do well. I love Aaron Judge, or I like Francisco Lindor. That we're not talking to you. Those are not the people that I think are a part of the conversation, because that's not what we're talking about. Teams, being a diehard for a team, loving your team. So you're telling me if Aaron Judge went and signed with San Francisco, you become a Giant fan. Well, then you're not really that big a Yankee fan. And if you're letting the betting decide who you're rooting for over the team you actually root for, then you are a casual. But are you surprised by this, Michael?
What's that?
The sports TV ratings?
Yes, shocked. Glad, but yeah, bring that up.
How about this, Peter?
Go ahead.
The Guardians-Tigers outrated Yankees-Royals. Guardians-Tigers started at 6 on TNT. 3.416. So just a shade over 3.4 million people watched that game. Yankees-Royals on TBS, just a shade under 3.2 million.
I was stunned by that.
And then you throw on the extra 350, which doesn't make up that big of a difference because it was also on True TV. I'm shocked by that. I know Detroit's a big market, Michael, but and Kansas City is not. But I think I would have thought both were Game 4s, so it wasn't like it was a Game 5 going up against a Game 4. I'm very surprised.
Well, how about this though, Don?
Yeah,
the Yankees and the Royals are up against Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Which for betting, again, back to that same conversation about the modern day casual young fan. There are people betting that game who are like, you know what, I'll watch the football and keep the Yankee game scores on my phone.
Yeah, especially with it being an app. You're not flipping. You're probably just going to Amazon, watching the game, and then just being done with the baseball. But it's just, I was just a little surprised by that.
And also on sports TV ratings, the Lynx and the Liberty, Game 1, 1.144 million. That's a really good number.
That's not bad.
No, for a Game 1 up against a lot of other stuff, and Lynx aren't exactly the biggest market in the world.
And you're there, so that takes away another viewer. Right?
I mean, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal because you have one of those meters, don't you?
I'd rather not say. Don't get me in trouble. No, I've never had one. I've never accepted one. I never would.
What the
Now, when you got home yesterday from the WNBA game, I know you took a nice long soak in your bath.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought it up, Michael. You nailed it.
This is you, and this is your lingering hunch.
The Browns look riveting, Gary.
The kind that just sort of hangs around.
Their defense, unstoppable.
But with FanDuel, this hunch won't linger much longer. Because FanDuel's profit boosts every NFL game day will reward you when you're ready to act.
Go Browns, Browns, Browns.
So you won't let any hunch go to waste and make every moment more.
All customers get a profit boost every NFL game day. From FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell.
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents on planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on, you can do that.
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
Visit linkedbylovetv.org to learn more about kidney disease, transplantation, and prevention. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
We got nets.
Mi embarazo con Maya fue normal. Todo estuvo bien hasta que nació. La cadera dislocada, y a lo mejor traía consecuencias en la cabeza. Cada cirugía que ella requiere, creí que Dios me la iba a recoger. Lloraba como ahorita, pero mucho porque me la deja. El hospital Shiner me dio mucha esperanza. Cada día que despierta, le doy gracias a Dios. Pueden encontrar algo que pueda hacer que mi hija tenga una mejor calidad de vida.
Por más de 95 años, los hospitales Suárez para niños han ayudado a brindar esperanza a niños y sus familias, sin importar la capacidad de pago que tengan.
Con la ayuda de los hospitales Shiner, la vida puede ser muy milagrosa. Yo siento que Mayita todavía tiene mucho que vivir y que hacer. Todo va a estar bien, gracias a los hospitales de Shiner.
Visita moreshiners.org hoy.
This is not just any hybrid. This is the Ford F-150 hybrid. With a Power Boost hybrid powertrain, you get both gas power and electric energy for impressive performance. Paired with an available 7.2 kilowatt Pro Power onboard generator for when and wherever you need it. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, returning lessees can lease the Ford F-150 for $299 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years. When I have customers come in and ask for something for memory, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me.
At stores everywhere without a prescription.
What's the score of the game?
The new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. There's joy in every journey. Lease a Hyundai Elantra for only $159 a month, or get 1.99% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
Here we go, let's
The Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And Yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
Hey kid, what? I got some cocaine, booze, and heroin. You want some? No, drugs can do a lot of damage to your body. They can do things like give you addictions, give you disease, ruin your health, and a bunch of other bad things that you don't want in your life. I'm out of here.
I mean, what a moment tonight for Japanese baseball fans. You have Yu Darvish against Yamamoto, with the big star of the Dodgers being the big star of Major League Baseball now being Shohei Ohtani. And, I mean, the winner goes to the NLCS against the Mets. So I wonder who Met fans are rooting for. Who do they want to see? I think the easier matchup for them is the Dodgers. But the Dodgers have a great amount of firepower and star power in their lineup. I just think that the Padres, with their shutdown bullpen, the Mets have advanced in the postseason because of these late inning rallies. The magical route. I don't know if they do that against the Padre bullpen. Maybe they do. Maybe they do because they've defied all expectations anyway. But if I'm a Met fan, I'm rooting for the Dodgers.
Yeah, but I don't know how crazy I'm going to get because you'll be careful what you wish for. So we'll just take whoever you get. One thing I guess root for that they play like 25 innings and just have to exhaust themselves. But even that's not going to make that big of a deal. Neither is going to have to travel significantly. If the Dodgers win, they stay home. Padres just have to travel up the coast a little bit and wait until Sunday. So it's not that big of a deal. But I think the Dodgers are probably the better matchup, but I wouldn't say I'm terrified of the Padres either. They split the 4-game series at the end of the season. They won the season series overall. Both are scary offensively. I like the Padres pitching a lot better than I do the Dodgers, so that's probably why I'll end up rooting for the Dodgers, but it's not like I'm going to be devastated if the Padres win. Alex Fuse, who helps us out over at the network, Michael.
He likes to be called the great Alex Fuse.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
About the additions to the football on ABC.
Okay.
It replaces the previously announced Monday lineup of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Press Your Luck, and What Would You Do? What Would You Do was moved to Wednesday. So that's what they planned on having instead of the football, but clearly the football could do better numbers than I guess those shows.
So I guess it came out whammy on Press Your Luck.
Whammy.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. So Michael Dorbuck on Twitter.
What's the last name again?
Dorbuck, D-O-R-B-U-K.
I like that name. It's like a
He
porn.
writes, it seems like whatever the caller says, Kay takes the opposite view. I guess he feels that makes for a more entertaining show. It would be too boring if everyone agreed about everything. Mike Francesa used to do the same thing. Well, Michael, I don't want to disagree with you, but I disagree with you.
Here we go.
I disagree if I disagree. If I agree, I go, yeah. But also, the way it's done, our producer probably knows what friction would be caused and probably puts callers on that we might not agree with. But I don't disagree with people just to disagree. That's kind of insulting.
But another yo-yo chimes in. It's sports talk radio. We make the opinions, and then the callers call to agree or disagree.
That's right.
So,
that's how it works.
So if they call to disagree, they're disagreeing with the original point made on the air. So he's got it reversed.
Good point.
I mean, they don't
calling to disagree.
Like, what does he think we do a show like? I don't know what to talk about today. Let's take your calls and see what you're thinking, and then we react to what they say. No, yo-yo. We make the opinions, and then the people call up to agree or disagree. Oh, am I living in Bizarro world? My dear Heavenly Father above.
What a nice way to reference God.
The Almighty. Football Fridays on 880 ESPN, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
I thought this was a great week. I thought this week went well. I think it went fast. But, boy, thank God it's Friday.
Too fast.
That's how life is, Peter. Goes too fast.
Believe me, I know.
We haven't heard from Danny in Long Island.
I miss him terribly.
Because I know he was on hold a couple times yesterday. Didn't get to him. Danny, what's up?
That's okay. When I'm called late, I'm on overtime, and I'm getting paid time and a half to listen to you guys. Is this going to be better than that?
Does it?
Listen, I'm not sure who I was going to root for tonight, and then it came to me. As a K-Show fan, I'm rooting for the Dodgers, so Michael King can be eliminated, and I don't have to hear Richard one more time tell us how the Yankees got robbed in that trade with Soto.
Great call by you.
Wow.
Because if this goes on any further, we could be looking at Michael King striking out Soto to end Game 7 of the World Series, and we'll never hear the end of it.
It's an excellent point.
So we just have to.
It's an excellent point by you.
Listen, the topic of the day here. I'm an Islander fan. I will never root for the Rangers. I don't even follow hockey that close anymore because the Islanders have been so repugnant for years. But when I see them take the ice against the Rangers, it something in my loins gets aggravated.
But it's apples to wrenches, though. They're in the same division, so it kind of makes sense for you to hate the Rangers, right? I mean,
and I don't root against the Yankees per se, but I will never root for them. I will take no joy in their win. But it's not like, and I was telling this close to me, it's funny because obviously I wrote for the Steelers. And I don't root against the Jets. Jets and the Giants are not in my. They have nothing to do with me. So I know a lot of friends who are Giants. If the Steelers couldn't win this year, I'd be very happy to see some Jets fans I know who haven't seen the Super Bowl since Nixon was president. Actually, it was Johnson. Be happy for 5 days of their life because there's enough aggravation in the world that you let them have a little joy, as long as it's not at my expense. So if they ever played the Steelers in the playoffs, of course, I'd want the team bus to crash on the way to Acrisure Stadium.
Strong.
Such a great call until those last couple of seconds.
Yeah, let's go to James in Westchester. James.
Jimbo.
What's up, boys? What's going on? I haven't called in a while. Actually, I used to call it fun. The last time I called was 2 years ago. Around this time, Astros, Red Sox were in the ALCS. And the question at that time was, who are Yankee fans going to root for? I came on the air. I said, it is ingrained in my soul. I will never root for the Red Sox. Michael, you complimented my parents. You said I was raised the right way, so I hope that lends some credence to what I'm about to say. If you are a Yankee fan, you do not root for the Mets. And besides all the regular reasons, how about the fact that they mopped the floor with us this year? I and other Yankee fans got laughed out of Citi Field.
Good point.
Does that not irk you? Does that not burn you?
Strong point.
Besides that, if you are a Yankee fan that roots for the Mets, you probably have a name on the back of your jersey, and you're probably standing up to do the wave in the eighth inning when the Yankees are down 2 runs. So you don't root for the Mets. Thank you. You're clowns. You're clowns. You're clowns.
Great call. Great call into the weekend, James. Thank you.
I don't want. He could steal point guard right there.
I think it's time to get the clown show thing going.
But that's the
clown show, clown show, clown show, clown show.
But that's the stuff the diehards say. You're clowns and all that. So that's what these people are like. Yeah, I'd like to see the Mets win, or I'd like to see the Yankees do well if the Mets get knocked out. Well, you want to see that guy happy. Even though I agree with him, but that's the guy. He looks down at your team. So those are the people that are really. You're not invested. Can we just say that, Michael? Whatever kind of fan you are,
you're not fully invested.
Fully invested.
That's completely fair.
And you'll live longer and you're healthier. It's probably the way to go. You know, we talk about diehards and compliment them for being the fan. That's probably not the direction to go to as a fan. But if you're in, you're in.
Let's go to Gary in Queensbury.
Hey, Michael, are you there?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I got a little bit of a take, a little bit of a different take, maybe. I'm not a Mets fan. I hate the Mets. I'm a big Yankees fan. I kind of look at the teams that are left, and I think the Dodgers and Padres are both better than the Mets. So I look at it like, well, who do I want to play? I think I'd rather play the weaker team, even though it is the Mets, and I'm not afraid of the Mets. So I'm not afraid of them celebrating in Yankee Stadium. Go beat them. You got teams out there. You're supposed to be the best.
But my point is, what if they do? What if they win?
Yeah, but you can't look at it
like that.
Because,
why not? You should plan for every eventuality.
Because I just look at it, if you're a Yankee fan and you believe in your team, then you know what? Go beat them.
So how long have you been a Yankee fan?
Well, I'm 57.
Okay, so
I've been a Yankee fan since, like 1970s.
Okay, so
late
you were a
70s.
Yankee fan during 2004.
Yeah.
Did you think the Yankees were going to beat the Red Sox?
Well, I could tell you when the Red Sox ended up coming back and winning 3 games after that, no, it was gut-wrenching. Hated it.
But
you know
going
what?
into that
I think
series,
that-
because we had a show then, and they would say, we want to face the Red Sox, knock them out again. I said, be careful what you wish for. And then you go up 3-0 and you feel great about life, and all of a sudden they do something, they do the unthinkable, which you will never get out from under. That's my only point. And I don't necessarily think that the Mets are the weaker of the 3 teams in the National League.
That's the thing I'd rather discuss with him than the fandom is why would you think the Mets are the weaker team? I get in the regular season the Mets didn't have as good a record as the Dodgers and the Padres, but the Mets, the way they've played really since June 1st, they've been better than the Dodgers and the Padres. And the way the Mets are playing right now, with kind of the confidence that they have and the way the rotation is rounded out here and the way the offense is going with Lindor and Alonso, I find it interesting that he thinks that they're the weaker
of the three teams.
It's debatable.
It's certainly debatable.
Yeah. I mean, they're the hottest of the three teams, aren't they?
Yeah.
At least.
And the Dodgers are a team that never seems to win in a big spot outside of the COVID year in 2020. Their rotation's a mess. Interesting.
Let's go to Chris in Highbridge.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for taking my call again.
You got it.
Just two quick things. One, on that call earlier about teams stand in the lineup, that guy might have been partaking in something. But before that, I want your guys' opinion on, I believe that I was more worrisome with the Royals. I'm still a little worried, obviously, with other teams, but the Yankees throughout the whole entire season, they were playing like the bad teams and the not-so-great teams not that well. And they were playing the better teams great. And as far as the caller earlier, I think Stanton should be moved to cleanup. And maybe that'll take some of the
Chris, that's smart.
Well,
I can have that conversation with you. If you want to flip-flop Wells and Stanton, okay, I can buy that because the righty-righty doesn't bother me so much in a matchup situation out of the bullpen, and Wells has been slumping. But to flip-flop Stanton and Judge because Judge has not hit 300 in his postseason career, although he has clubbed 13 home runs, that I don't get. And also, I'm not. I was a little worried about Kansas City. Listen, you should be worried about everybody, but the Yankees should beat every team in the American League that's left. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could worry. You should worry because, and also they did play poorly against below 500 teams. But you can say they took them lightly. You shouldn't take anybody lightly. They got this far. They're in the playoffs.
No,
Yankees are better than the Guardians. They're better than the Tigers, and they were better than the Royals. Yankees should be going to the World Series.
I agree with that, but this is not like taking a team lightly in the regular season. It's like 10 games under 500. You're better than they are, but you can't take anybody lightly in the playoffs. You got to treat these teams like they deserve to be there because they do. So, do I think the Yankees are better than the Tigers or the Guardians? I do, but they can't look past those teams. They're on equal footing. They both made it just as far. So this is not like Michael playing the White Sox on a Thursday in May. That's a different world now in the playoffs. You can't look past anybody.
So Don Lawrence Schnapp, who listens to the show,
great names.
He goes, "You guys are stuck in your teenage years. I've been a Yankee fan since 1961. I'm 71. Had season tickets for 8 years. I can root for the Mets to win National League because it will give joy to my lifelong friends who are Met fans." Well, you're a better person than me, Lawrence. I don't want to bring joy to anybody. Because if the Mets beat you in the Subway Series, what are those lifelong Met fans going to do to you?
Yeah, but you're full of it because you would have gotten complete joy if Buck Showalter had run with the Mets.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a fan anymore.
Yeah, that's a different world. I mean, once you get into the world and you create.
But but Don, you have to admit that the way he argues about it, sounds like he's still there.
No, but because he used to be a fan, so he can comment on it. But no, like that guy again. He's obviously a Yankee fan, but a Yankee fan for a long time. But if he's putting his friends' feelings ahead of his fandom, then he's not a diehard. He could be a really good fan, an educated fan, but you can't say you're a diehard. You can't.
Do you really care about your friends being that happy? I don't know. Maybe I'm not there.
But fans should be taking advice from an admitted retired fan.
But I was a bigger Yankee fan than you're a fan of anything, okay? And all I can say is that when I was a kid and I was actually in my fandom years, you would have had to strap me down to have me root for the Mets for anything. And anybody who does it, you have my complete enmity toward you.
But you were practically a child. Like, you honestly can't.
I wasn't a child when I was 19, 20 years old.
But, Michael, I mean, first of all, you just uttered the words to me that are unspeakable. I'm a 45-year-old adult obsessive fan of a team who sucks. If you haven't been through that, you haven't even been through a real fan experience.
Oh, well, when I started rooting for the Yankees, they were terrible. Okay.
And you were a kid.
So what?
But don't.
And when did they win? Did they win?
They won in 77 when I was 16.
That sounds pretty good. That's pretty good.
Did the Redskins win when you were a kid?
They did.
Okay, it sounds pretty good.
And then I've been there for another 35 years.
Wait a minute, don't
Who
play.
are you to tell people?
You're sounding like these former players that you can't comment. You didn't play.
No. He used to play. He got out of the game when he was practically a kid. And he's telling other people what fanship is. Fraud,
all right, so Don's still a fan.
Fraud.
Well, go with Don. Don agrees with me.
He kind of agrees with you, but not as far as you.
He agrees with me.
Well, I side with Michael, but I do think you can be
You
a
lean
fan,
Michael.
But I don't think you're a diehard fan. Again, diehard fans, these are sick people that root for their teams. They don't care about... Look, I love...
I want to see my friends happy.
Think about this. I love my brother, all right? We have the same DNA. I really love and care and cherish the relationship I have with my brother. Am I going to be happy the Cowboys win the Super Bowl? No! I'll be disgusted like every other Giant fan.
And Lawrence, that's Don's brother.
For my brother.
That's Don's brother, not some friend.
But I was happy for my brother when he got married, the birth of his child, that he gets a healthy exam. I mean, it's sports, for God's sakes, all right? The 71-year-old should be happy he can pee standing up. Don't worry about whether his baseball team wins, okay? If you want to be happy for your friends that they're breathing, yes, they win. Come on, let's get our priorities straight already, all right?
Well, I think you could do both.
No,
you could be happy your friends are alive and hope their team wins one day.
At the expense of your team?
No, not at the expense of your team. Now, your brother, I know your brother. He likes the Cowboys a lot. If AEW Wrestle Dream was on, he wouldn't watch the Cowboys. So
he has made some decisions in his life, and the Cowboys have kind of fell by the wayside. I will admit that. But even back in the day, when he was living and dying with the Dallas Cowboys, traveling to Dallas to see regular season games, okay?
Oh, wow.
Well, you think I'm sitting there going, I hope the Cowboys win the Super Bowl for my brother. No, I hope he gets a good exam from the cardiologist. I was happy when I was at his wedding. That makes me happy. Not, I got to root for the Cowboy? Come on, use a brain. We haven't. Half our callers and social media have taken their brain out of their skull today. Yo-yos.
Well, let's see if we take our brain out of the skull when we do our NFL picks when we come back after Peter tells us about bathtubs.
I will.
Here's your coffee.
Oh, best intern ever.
Oh, nice. You use Fiverr. Working on anything big?
Oh, yeah. Growth strategy.
Maybe I can help.
Yes. Can I get some oat milk?
Sometimes great talent is right under your nose.
Biggest thing I've learned so far? Don't sweat the small stuff. No. Found it. Finding my light. No, knowing my cue. Just trying not to overthink things. M&M's. For all fun kind.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Ever been diagnosed with osteoarthritis? Or worried about the risks involved with knee surgery?
It hurt all the time, like the nerves were rubbing against each other.
I was at the point of either replace my knees because I'm tired of this pain.
Get the relief you need without surgery. We're Arthritis Knee Pain Centers, the premier leaders in non-surgical knee pain treatments. Instead of surgically replacing your knees, our state-of-the-art procedures replenish the depleted natural cushioning in your joints treatments with an FDA-approved shock-absorbing gel, without surgery and without downtime.
After the first injection, I knew it was going to work.
We've successfully treated thousands of patients. Medicare and most private insurance cover this procedure.
Full motion, no pain, walking, everything just back normal like it used to be.
Locations in Garden City, Smithtown, and Wall, New Jersey. Call 1-800-834-5911 for a no-charge, no-obligation knee pain assessment, or go to arthritis-kneepain.com.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
We got nets.
The doctor said I only had a 29% chance to find you. But I knew you were out there. Every night, even when my heart was sad, I wished for you to sign up. I got so sick that I couldn't go to school, but I still made people laugh. But when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever. Sincerely, Owen.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at nmdp.org.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Hi, I'm Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. Some people say, why should I take Prevagen? I don't have a problem with my memory. Memory loss is not something that occurs overnight. I started noticing subtle lapses in memory. I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. It's helped my memory. It's helped my cognitive qualities. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. Untuck It makes every guy look better. From tall to short, from big to slim. From our iconic button-downs for all shapes and sizes to a whole lot more. Try us today. Untuck It. We just make guys look better. Oh, and we make great styles for her, too. Find the perfect fit at untuckit.com in more than 80 stores worldwide.
The Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
What would you do for clean water? For over 700 million people around the world, the answer is literally anything. Walk for hours, stop going to school, sacrifice sleep, health, money, and time, all for water that's not even safe to drink. It doesn't have to be this way. This is a problem we can solve together. Join Charity Water in our mission to end the global water crisis. Visit charitywater.org today.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
It's going to be a great race this year between me and Don. It really is. I'm 8-7-1. I have 15.5 points. Don is 10-5. He has 18 points. Peter's 5-10. He has 9 points. Last week, I was 2-1 with 3 points. Don 2-1 with 3 points. Peter 1-2 with 1 point. I already got my 1-pointer this week. I took.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I took so that gave me the extra point. So I just need a 2 and a 3. But since Don is leading, we had the same amount of points last week. Don kicks it off.
Well, my 1-point play, I'm going to go with the Falcons in Carolina against the Panthers, and I believe
love the pick.
We have it at 6. I don't know if it's moved at all. Anthony, let me know, but I have it at 6.
It's 6.
It's 6. Panthers are not good. Falcons, it's the first time I think ever that a team has trailed in the final few minutes like the Falcons have in finding a way to win games. They're finding a way to win games. I think they finally open one up and are comfortable winning by a touchdown in Carolina against the Falcons. That's my 1-point play. My 2-point play, I'm with Joe. I don't see the Giants doing anything against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is so due. They had that players-only meeting defensively. Their offense is going to be very difficult to stop. No Thibodeau, no Neighbors. Cincinnati's going to eventually figure it out. And it's also that bad combination, home game, national television. I know the Giants came up big with DeVito against the Packers in a similar situation last year, but this is usually a recipe for disaster. I like the way the Giants played against Seattle. I don't think it happened again. I think Seattle covers the 4 as my 2-point play. 1, 2, 3-point play. And you know the Texans are showing me something, man. And what is that? Did that line stay at 6.5, Anthony?
I've got it right here. Don, why are you asking Anthony?
Yeah, so it's under a touchdown. The Patriots are awful. The Texans are playing some fabulous football, and that was a big win that they had against the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to win their division. They're not scared to go to New England and cover the 6.5. I like it so much. I'm making it my 3-point play.
Wow, look at you.
I'm going to make the Falcons giving 6 as my 1-point play. I'm going to have the Bengals getting the 4 as my 2-point play, and the Texans getting 6.5 in New England as my 3-point play.
All right, so I have the 1-pointer from yesterday. My 2-point play is the same as Don's. Cincinnati, I mean, I'm not going to say this is do or die, but they got to start winning games. And I think their defense is better than it's shown. Malik Neighbors, by the way, is out again for the Giants, and although Slayton had a big game last week, I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think Burrow can put up some points. It's also been really under the radar. Thibodeau's out. That's a big part of the Giant defense, so I think Burrow's going to have a big day. So give me Cincinnati and giving the 4. My 3-point play, I have 2 words for you, everybody. Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler. He's the quarterback for the Saints. Give me the Bucs. The Bucs are getting healthy. They got all their people back. It's just 3.5 points. Spencer Rattler is the quarterback.
Who is that again?
Spencer Rattler. So give me the Bucs, 3.5 points. I'll give you, and I take that as my 3-point pick.
3.
So my 2-point pick, Cincinnati. My 3-point pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Peter.
I told you guys I do not like this docket. I really don't like it. But do you have to be a D at all times? I mean, I don't know what else to say.
That was fun.
I'm gonna go. I went with them as my 1-point.
Is that what you meant?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, D is in delight. I'm gonna go with my commies again, man. I'll throw 1 at the commies. They're getting 6.5 in Baltimore. I get it. I've seen all the stats on what Baltimore does to NFC teams.
They're getting 7 now, by the way, Skip.
They're getting 7. Oh, that's actually. You know what? That is interesting.
Make it your 3-point play, tough guy.
No, I'm not going to change my plan. I'm somehow going to stick, even though I'm an idiot, I should change all my plans. But, you know, the Commanders, frankly, here's the deal. And I'm being serious, folks. The Baltimore Ravens have the number 1 rush defense in the NFL, and that is intimidating for the Washington running game. They also have the 31st ranked passing defense. So give me Jaden Daniels to keep pouring on the points against the Ravens. It's a shootout. I don't know who wins, but Washington covers the number. I'll take them for 1. 1, 2, 3-point play. I'm going to hold my nose and this is nasty. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Love that pick. Love it.
In London,
Jays.
it's home of Jays, right? And I know the Bears have been better the last couple of weeks, but sorry, I'm not fully saying the Bears are ready to be a team that goes to London and wins games. Something Jacksonville does well, and Trevor Lawrence is going to find himself. The offense has been getting better. Give me the Jaguars as a dog.
Good pick.
In London.
So proud
Thank
of
you. Thank you very much. I don't like that you like the pick, though. That's bad news for me. And my three-point play, you talk about holding your nose. I'm going to go right up against Joe Fortenbaugh. Now, he did seem to hesitate a little bit when he realized the line changed, and I think that line's a big deal at 3.5. Give me the Cowboys getting things. Really do. But I like the Cowboys going in the right direction. I like them covering the number. I totally hear the point. They are sort of a one-trick pony, but I do believe it's a team that at some point figures it out and makes a play for the division. Give me the Cowboys as my three-point play to cover the 3.5. Cowboys getting 3.5, the Jaguars getting 1, and the Commies getting 7. 3 dogs for your boy.
What does your hack friend have?
I'm sorry. That's
Ballard.
well, a lot. Oh, I thought you meant 45, which I thought would be a controversial take. Did Ballard send his picks, guys?
Yep. Steelers -3, Bengals -3.5, Lions -3.
So you got to adjust those lines accordingly.
No, we do not. He made those picks a day ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
he's not gonna. If he picked it at that point, he's gonna pick it then.
Okay. I guess you're right. It just does nobody any favors. They can't get that number. But either way,
it's just for Ballard and his brilliance.
Right. That's it. You know what? You're right. I don't know how many people are running out to. Bet MGM or FanDuel Sportsbook to bet Ballard's picks.
How about
the text that I received back was JETS Jets.
Wow, he's lost. Let's just you know what? He's focused. Let's just be honest. He's focused on managing. That's good news for the Yankees fans. Good news.
And how about 45?
I love the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. I think they used to be the Houston Titans or some other team, but now they've changed. And I love them. I love them to cover big against the Colts. The repugnant Colts of Indianapolis. They left Baltimore in the middle of the night.
How about Bear?
Bear is throwing everything he's got behind the Buffalo Bills, -2.5. Look, that's right, Bear, Bills, you get the idea.
So he's going up. Bear's going up against Boone.
Yeah, it's a Bear versus Boone situation.
Bear versus Boone world. All right. There you have it. Those are the big picks. We come back. We'll finish up the week, take some phone calls, have other important things to tell you. So stay right where you are. Hey, I talk for a living.
The New York Yankees postseason 50-50 raffle is open. The Yankees have guaranteed a minimum starting jackpot of $50,000 at this year's American League Championship Series opener on Monday, October 14th. One lucky fan will take home half the pot and the other half will be donated to the New York Yankees Foundation. You can enter to win from home in New York ahead of Monday's game by visiting yankees.com/5050 or by scanning the QR code on the screen.
I have sickle cell. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime. I'm most grateful that people are willing to go out there and take their time, their blood, and give me new life.
All right, boys, who we betting on?
However you bet, whoever you are, the sports book for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
You know why I love Halloween?
Why?
People give me Kit Kats for free.
Son, you're 8. All your Kit Kats are free.
Happy Halloween! Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
Your memory is an amazing thing, but sometimes it can start to slow down. But did you know Prevagen can help keep your memory sharp? The secret is the powerful ingredient apoaquarin, originally discovered in jellyfish and found only in Prevagen. In a clinical study, Prevagen was shown to improve memory in subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired. Stay sharp and improve your memory with Prevagen. Prevagen, in stores everywhere without a prescription.
That 808, can you feel that BASS bass?
Love the way you move with intelligent around view monitor on the all-new reimagined Nissan Kicks.
Now get a low $239 per month lease for 36 months on the all-new Nissan Kicks.
Do you think a man has ever used Blue Chew with you?
Yeah, my boyfriend uses it all the time. Proudly.
Oh my god, so he's like subscribed to that?
Yeah.
Really? And you like it?
Oh, it's on my card.
Babe, really?
Girl, I have needs. What do you mean, really?
So you pay for his Blue Chew?
It's like an investment in myself.
See, so you're just supporting him.
Of course.
And in turn, he's supporting you.
He's taking care of me, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
You got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
The Bombers are in the ALCS.
Just outstanding.
And yes is your Yankees postseason home.
There's an urgency to win.
With enhanced pre- and post-game coverage around every playoff game, plus exclusive player access.
I definitely know the ghosts from the old stadium are with us.
You follow the chase all season. Don't miss Yes's postseason coverage from the network that knows the Bombers best. ALCS coverage begins Monday at 6:30 on Yes and the Yes app.
I was diagnosed at 65.
37. Earlier than most.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
Not a show.
You are watching the Yes Network.
Soaring into history.
Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
I think Peters just won the week.
He did win the week.
Back on Friday to finish it off. Feels good. Feels really good.
It's nothing better than a game
Can
5.
that be my 3-point? Can that be my 3-point play?
No, better than the one you have.
You don't like my?
No, I don't like any of your picks. I don't like you.
Wait, that's
just
Todd.
People believe those things.
Good.
Well, they hear them over and over and over again.
Didn't I say how great a person you were yesterday? You gave me sneakers.
Yeah, because you got something from it.
Well, that's the way it works. Life is a trade.
Could you be a word? Let's just everyone following along. Here's what Michael has said over the last 24 hours. I love you and I respect you, and you give me presents.
Right.
And why would anyone on earth root for their friends to be happy? Those are the messages we've gotten from Michael in the last 24 hours.
No, I didn't say that last thing. I mean, I root for my family. My friends, I want them to be happy, but not if it's against my interests.
But even if it's not against your
interests? No, I want them to be happy, sure.
Okay.
But if it's against my interests, no, they could go fly a kite. So Todd Downing is a new play caller for the Jets. Rich Cimini tweeted out some of his points that he made today. He was asked, does the new arrangement on offense, is it awkward? And he said, no, it's not awkward. Big praise for Hackett, now works under him. He said he's not sure if he will call plays from the field to the box. In the past, he called plays from the field with the Titans. Hackett called plays from the field because he wanted to interact with Rodgers when he wasn't on the field, so that'll be interesting. He said he has a strong relationship with Rodgers, not alarmed by the last 2 games, says he's had very few blips throughout his 20-year career, and despite little production, he still believes the Jets have a strong run game. Said players have been pressing because they want to match expectations. So how does changing coaches stop the pressing? Just wondering.
But the only thing that I thought was good is that he seems like he's going to use the running game more, which I think that's when the Jets are at their best.
Yeah, but they got to gain yards.
Yeah, but I think I know they haven't done a great job, but they have completely abandoned the run at times. What did they run, like 19 times in London, and then not utilizing it at the goal line against Denver on that 1st and goal? Those are 2 studs at running back, or at least 1 stud and one that potentially can be a stud in Allen. I think they got to be utilized more. They do. It just can't be throw to Wilson, throw to Wilson, throw to Wilson. First of all, he hasn't had that kind of a year, and it's very easy to defend. So as much as it's a passing league, when you've got good running backs, and this could help you protect the lead, this could help you kind of sustain things when the line's not doing a great job protecting Rodgers, that you've got to keep the defense honest. And I don't know how you do that running the ball a handful of times.
1-800-919-3776. That's the number. Let's go to Sean in the car. Sean.
How you guys doing? First time, long time. I just wanted to make a quick point. A lot of callers today making up, as you as well, Michael, about the Mets payroll this year. But we have 2 guys that haven't pitched for us in over a full calendar year that are making up almost $100 million of this year's payroll.
Who?
So I don't think it's quite fair to say Scherzer and Verlander.
Well, no. The Mets are paying half of their salary, so they're making up about $35 million of their payroll.
Okay, so but basically my point was the guys that we brought in, Minaya, $14 million, Severino, nothing. I think it's kind of crazy to say that we quote unquote bought this team. Like it's not like we did the past 2 years of Cohen. So I just thought it was a little bit unfair.
Well, first of all, Sean, I never said that, but I mean you can't escape from the fact most teams are bought. Bader is bought. Severino is bought. Minaya is bought. I mean, we can go on and on.
I just think
Edwin Diaz, paid a tremendous, although you got him in a trade. So, I mean, it's not a crime to have a team that's bought. It's part of the rules.
But the thing is, it's not your traditional $300 million payroll when over 10% of it is just buying out the contracts of Verlander and Scherzer. I mean, that helps having Cohen wanting to eat that money. But really, when you look at the contributions made across the board, the one big gun financially is Lindor. Alonso's going to get his big payday. Obviously, you're not having to pay Vientos. You're not having to pay Alvarez. The pitchers are all like, you didn't spend a ton of money on them, considering how much pitchers make. So it's a big payroll team, I think, in the number, but not a lot of it is helping this team win. 2 of them aren't even on the team anymore. So what would that bring it down to? Like,
well, I think they pay like $17.5 million for both Verlander and Scherzer, so that's 35, and that brings you down to 265 about.
Right. So
they wouldn't be the top payroll.
They're paying big money to Diaz. They're paying big money to Nimmo. They're paying big money to Lindor. So it's not a small market team.
But Nimmo's is a draft pick, so they had to keep their own guy.
No, but part of being a big market team, Michael, is holding on to those players.
Yeah, you're right. That's why the Yankees could do what they did in the 90s.
Right. I mean, the people don't realize that. It's not just about buying free agents and salary dumps from other teams. It's also, maybe if Nimmo's a Marlin, he's not a Marlin anymore once he becomes a free agent. Or he doesn't get a contract, or he would have gotten traded, last year when the team wasn't doing well. So I just think that's all the caller was taking exception to. Listen, it's big markets, big payroll, but the 300 is not. A lot of that is not contributing to this team.
I mean, I would be quite the hypocrite if I ever criticize anybody winning because they spend money. I mean, you're allowed to do it. The Yankees have done it. I mean, it's part of the rules. They're playing within the rules. They spend money. If the Mets spent a $400 million payroll and they won a World Series, I wouldn't sit here and criticize them. I'd applaud them. They're using their advantage.
And we were critical, I think, you were and other people were, that they didn't make any free agent splashes and they were like willing to go with Beatty at third. And I didn't think they wanted to landlock Vientos, and Vientos steals that job. So if they went out and got a third baseman, Michael, maybe they'd be fine. Maybe that third baseman would be doing well, but maybe we wouldn't see Vientos blossom into a player who's really, contributed to this team. So I think Stearns deserves a lot of credit. I think, listen, he's using a lot of money, and that's what the benefit of having Steve Cohen, but I also think he's been very shrewd. Calling up Iglesias, Michael, that was a good move.
Listen to the names that Stearns got rid of from the beginning of the year. Omar Narvaez, Joey Wendell, Zach Short, Adrian Hauser, Jorge Lopez, Jake Diekman, Michael Tonkin, Johan Ramirez, DJ Stewart, Brett Beatty. I mean, those are decisive moves that they made. So he gets a lot of credit.
No, he does.
And you know what? Billy Apple gets some credit, too, for getting rid of Scherzer and getting rid of Verlander and getting players like Luis Angel Acuna. Those are good moves.
And credit Cohen. There's a lot of owners that would not have eaten that salary.
Let's go to Chris in Garden City.
Hey, what's up, guys? Before I get to my quick question for Michael, just to chime in on the Yankees-Mets rooting for each other, situation. I've been a Yankee fan for 30 years. I got friends for 30-plus years. I root for the Mets to make the World Series every year, so I could see those friends in the worst kind of pain possible as a Yankee fan.
That's nice.
So just chiming in. I mean, I think, Michael, you can appreciate that.
I do appreciate it, but be careful, because what if they win? Then they're not going to be in pain. You'll be in pain.
Yeah, they're not going to win. We're going to win. So anyways, for the rotation coming up in the ALCS, I'm having a debate with my friends. Do we put Cole on the mound game 1 on 3 days rest and go with the same 3-man rotation, or do we work Gill in there somehow?
I think that Rodon's going to start game 1. I would say that Cole starts game 2. Then it's the choice of whether you want Heel or Schmidt game 3 or 4. I do not think that they put Stroman in the rotation. So I think it's going to be those 4. And I don't think that the first game of a 7-game set that you would push your ace like that and have him pitch on short rest. Doesn't make sense.
It's a 7-game series. I'm not saying you want to throw away game 1, but why would you treat it that
like a
special?
must win?
That you save those 3 days rests for a game 7, or if you're down 3 games to 1, game 1, that wouldn't make any sense to me at all.
Right. If it's a game 7 and he has to go on 3 days rest, then we talk about it. But game 1, that's not the way to go. Let's go to Dennis in Huntington. Dennis.
Yeah, you guys have been talking about the Yankees, Mets, like Subway Series 2.0. So I live in a house, or a family that's divided. Half of us are Mets fans, half of us are Yankees fans. I'm a Yankee fan, and
sure,
we're both rooting for a Subway Series. I don't really know why you're getting so up in arms about, no, the Mets have to lose. Who cares who else wins as long as the Yankees win? I think we want the Mets and the Yankees to brawl it out. We want to put that carrot in front of the Mets fans and then just chew it up in front of them and then just spit it out. Hakua, right in front of their face.
But Dennis, I know a lot of people feel that way. But let me ask you a question. What happens if the Mets win that series?
Then it's annoying.
Well, that's the gamble. That's the gamble you take.
But wouldn't you rather just play the Dodgers so you don't have that gamble?
No. I don't want to play the Dodgers. I'd rather play the Mets.
Why?
Like I said, I live in a family that's it's divided. My mother's side is Mets fans. My father's side is Yankee fans. I'm on my father's side, and we are going to war this October.
I don't.
Because it'll be fun. By the way,
let me ask you,
I've heard from others who feel the exact same way.
Listen, I guess you guys are different than me.
Apparently so.
I got enough stress with my team trying to win. I'm going to add 100 times more stress. I just want to see my team win. That's going to be very difficult to live with, that kind of a stress. Yankees versus Mets. I mean, for somebody that really is looking forward to that, is someone that really is not going to feel the pain if they lose. But Michael, why would you want to put yourself in that situation? It's macabre almost.
The fact that you guys can't get any bit of it will also be fun.
No, what's fun? I'm telling you? But you know, as a diehard fan,
the city will be electric. It'll be fun.
Wait a minute. That's almost like saying, I hope that my team goes to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to root for the other team to play well, so it goes to overtime because it'll be so much fun. No, you want to blow them out 100-0, put your feet up. Like,
Peter,
when would it be fun? Tell me exactly when, Peter, it would be fun. Mets and Yankees, as a Met fan, watching it. When would they have any enjoyment?
Because it's like you're taking the words "Die Hard" literally.
No. I'm telling you
it's
myself.
Not actual death.
I'm asking you.
It is entertainment and fun.
Not assault.
Okay, but again, Peter, I have the perfect comeback, and nobody's listening to me. Yankee fan, it is the perfect comeback. It was so much fun. The thought of slapping the Red Sox around again in 2004. We were on the air. They were rooting for the Red Sox to make it to the air so we could beat them again. And you'll never get out from under of blowing a 3-0 lead. So how much fun was it then?
Yeah, but I love, and this is what's so weird about sports. And again, maybe I'm an outlier. But if the Mets are in a close game, like all these games, it's fun after they win. But when is it fun during the game? Like it was fun to watch the Lindor Grand Slam. Was I having any fun leading up to that? Peter, you know as a diehard fan, if the Commanders are in that game against Baltimore and it's back and forth, I mean, the tension you're going to feel in that game, if they win, you'll look back and go, boy, it was fun to win the game, but are you having fun in the moment? Or are you just, you're dying because the game is so close and you're so nervous? Like, when is exactly these things fun?
I mean, I just think people are different and people look forward to, like, intensity. Last week, a buddy of mine fought for the light heavyweight championship. Obviously, he's not my best friend, but he's definitely a buddy.
He got his butt kicked, right?
He actually put up an incredible fight against the best fighter in the world. Yeah.
So wouldn't it have been better if your buddy fought a guy who wasn't as good and won?
No. Like
what? You'd rather lose a tough fight than win an easy one?
No one would have taught. It would have done. I don't know if it would have done nearly as much for. That's a different subject because he ended up boosting his entire career by fighting as well as he did.
You know.
But hold on, hear me out. My point that I was trying to make before Michael derailed me was, it was really scary. You were watching someone and they might lose and it's intense, but like I still had fun that night. I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm just miserable.
That's not apples to apples.
No, it's not.
I mean,
but like,
well, listen, the most fun I had as a Giant fan in game was when in the second half when the Giants were blowing out the Broncos in Super Bowl 21. During the course of Super Bowl 25, was I having fun? No, it was a tension convention until Norwood was right, and then I celebrated and looked back, boy, it's fun now, but during the time, it was under tremendous stress.
So
the people that are having fun aren't all in. Because they know if they lose, okay, they turn the TV off, go, boy, that was fun, that was entertaining, now let me pay my taxes. But to me, as like a diehard, I'm not having fun in the moment. I'm dying in the moment.
Why is all the fun? All the people that want the fun is the Yankee fans. Met fans don't seem like they want to face the Yankees. They don't want the Yankees in the World Series.
I've explained this 50 times.
But why don't they want
that? I don't need that stress. I don't need it.
It's a different situation for the team that hasn't been there very often. It's just a different relationship. But like I have fun in the stress of Commanders games.
But the guy, you know what's funny?
Sunday's going to be stressful in Baltimore against a team that I hate, where I will be embarrassed for wearing my stuff because they will be loud and annoying, and it's a local rivalry, and I will enjoy every minute of the 3 hours of stress. I'm not actually going to be miserable.
That's weird. That's weird.
It's not weird. I love
just
sports.
saying that's weird to me.
It's not life and death. It's actual entertainment.
But I'm saying, that's Die Hard to me. That to me is Die Hard. Like that caller that said, "Oh, I want the Mets because we're going to beat them." I'm sorry, I don't think that way. I'm never that confident. Oh, we're going to beat them. Like, so I would just say for those...
Yeah, I don't relate to that either, but...
For those 9 days, whatever it would be, for a possible 7-game series, the stress would be unreal. I can't describe that as fun. Now, do I enjoy sports? Do I enjoy cover? Of course, I got into it. But when your team is playing for it all, the stress, to me, I would not describe it as fun. Until you win, and then that's when the fun starts. You hear what I'm saying, Michael, right?
I do. I'm just so because people are dug in, and Peter doesn't understand. He didn't grow up here, and I think that's a big.
Well, I don't have a cross. I don't have a cross.
You don't have a dog in the fight. I grew up in this area. Don grew up in this area. If you're a Yankee fan and you don't realize how you would get it on a constant basis from Met fans forever. All you have to do is talk to the Yankees. I'm personal friends with all of them from 2000. They never felt stress like they felt playing the Mets in 2000. They could not lose that series. They couldn't lose it. They knew if they did, like Derek Jeter joked, they'd have to move out of the city. And if Yankee fans think that they're sure that they beat the Mets, okay, then sign up for that subway. But if you're not sure, you know what? Play the Dodgers or the Padres. A lot less stress. You still win a World Series. It's still joyous to win 28, but you don't have the risk of losing to the Mets.
Would it be that much sweeter if they were to beat the Yankees? Of course it would. But the stress leading into it, every game having to come on the air for 3.5 hours, and it would be. I wouldn't describe it as fun. I'll tell you that.
So on no level, you wouldn't rather win with a Lindor walk-off in the Bronx instead of a 4-game sweep of the Tigers?
No.
Well, if you knew given the choice, if you
knew you were going to win, yes, but you don't know.
But that's the thing. You got to dare to dream. It could still happen and be amazing.
That's not how I root. I'm sorry.
That's you.
I know.
I totally get it.
I'm
That's
just telling me. I'm not saying you're wrong. Obviously, this is no way to live. I mean, I'm not telling you that this. I'm envious of you. I am envious of every fan that could sit there and watch their team, and then when they shut the TV off, go, boy, that was fun. That was a fun 3 hours watching my team's brains get beat in, and then go back and do whatever I was doing.
No,
that's not how I am.
No, of course not. If you're a fan and your team loses badly, you're miserable no matter what. I don't care which. I'm not more miserable to lose to a team that's a rival. I'm miserable if they play
honestly,
badly.
I would never describe my team being in a big game and watching that big game would ever, under any circumstances, describe it as fun.
Don, you were on the opposite side of me when I argued that day that Giants fans should have been sick by losing to the Eagles the way they did. You were on but we had a good year.
But that was after the fact.
I was the one who said
that was after the fact. But during the game, it wasn't fun.
We're right up against it.
This isn't fun.
We have the Game 5 of the NLDS, Dodgers and the Padres, right on the air. First, Anita Marks will take over for us and then lead right into the baseball game. Billy Joel, Daniel Craig, go for it.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday at 3 o'clock. K Show on Yes is presented by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Shop now at untuckit.com.
The best ideas come from solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other men,